Snicker.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Twitch. Woo! Welcome back, everybody. How was the week?
Good.
I'm watching a
Good.
great trailer that I'm gonna link in chat real quick.
Anyone's watching, yeah, look at the Discord chat. There's things there. Anyway, welcome back to the game of Skyfall 5e. Let's go ahead, pick it up. We had a little bit of lateness, so we're just gonna fire it in and start right away. On the last session, you guys had done some stuff in town after returning triumphantly. There was a battle with some bandits, or maybe more of some strange confusion with some bandits. You guys ended up beating all of them, though they were largely turned against themselves, and those that survived had a change of faith. Turning to the side of good, they willingly walked to their death after admitting their wrongs. Now back in the city, you guys have done a little bit of stuff here and there, investigating what it is that strange little mouse thing was that you guys had in your backpack, and also speaking with the guard. You guys opened a bank account, which has something like 650 gold in it now. The days of Welfare Wednesday may be at an end. Filled with jubilation, your group stands outside of a locksmith as Edgar here holds on to a disembodied lock with a key in it, and all of you guys chuckle drunkenly. What do you guys want to do?
I believe I ended the session by saying the mouse was a disappointment and handing the lock over to Tidge.
Sure.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Oh, I've got an idea. How about Orillo punches a hole through a door where the handle is, and then we place this one right where that hole is, and then we cast Mending to try to create a new lock.
Look, Kalik, you've had some decent ideas in the past, but that one is by far the best idea you've ever had.
All right.
I'd like to roll
I'm game.
insight.
I don't believe.
Please do. Do you believe this is actually the best idea he's ever had?
10.
Drunkenly, yes.
Okay. Yep.
Sure.
Perhaps a surge of confidence or maybe confusion, but Edgar does believe that this is the best idea you've ever had.
So what door are we gonna do? Are we gonna use?
The one we just came out of.
Okay.
The blacksmith store?
Why not?
Alright, I don't think you'd take too kindly to us punching a hole in this door.
I mean, we're gonna fix it.
We give him a great lock and a key that goes with it? Come on.
I
He
prefer
makes
not to get in
locks
trouble
for a living.
before we talk to the guard captain.
Don't you suppose you could just replace it?
Well, that's his job.
Right, then what would be the point?
Practice.
Around what time is it?
You guys are drunk in like the middle of the afternoon.
Don't we have to go... Don't we have to go meet the Skylar character?
Later this evening.
He was so proud of us.
About what time?
So proud of us.
Wait, so we're toasted at like fucking 5 in the afternoon?
No, at 12 in the afternoon.
Oh
Like
my
it's maybe
God.
1 o'clock. And you guys are
Right.
just shittered, like... You know, it's a different time, so, you know, there's no cops telling you to get out of here, but yeah, it is a little weird.
Right.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, that's what we tell them. Okay, which one of you Snickers has some gremlin in the background building an IKEA table?
We all know. We all know it's Ashley. And then we're just gonna all pause. Woof! Well, Caleb,
Nah, he's not here.
lead the way.
I look one direction. I look the other direction.
Uh-huh.
I look
I'm
at
just
Edgar.
there. I'm just looking right at him, nodding with like a smile, like you got this.
You can't
I
disappoint
have-
him now.
No idea where we're going.
Okay, you pick a direction and start walking.
Sure.
Okay. I would like somebody who's feeling lucky today to roll some luck, please.
I believe it's me.
Boom,
Bill Hay.
boom, boom, boom,
Ah, you filthy fucking slut.
boom, 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 boom. Oh, here we go. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, I should get that sound clip. Oh,
Okay.
shit!
Talking about Caesar!
Yeah, it goes the right direction.
Ancient Greece.
Dude, I laughed so fucking. Made no sense. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's just, everything's just references. We don't even speak normal people talk anymore. We just communicate ideas through weird crap we've seen. Okay, so you guys pick a direction and start wandering, and you guys are in the market district here. This is where you found a little locksmith, and you know, it's a nice busy day. It's the middle of the afternoon, and despite the fact that you guys are varying degrees of slizzard, some of you just a pleasant buzz, while others a little bit more closer to the deep end, you pass by like these beautiful stalls that have meats that are being sold out there, like little street food and things like that, and you see like strange wares and things like that which are being put on display. There's a whole bunch of activity around you. Are you guys looking for anything in particular? Because it seems like there could be pretty much anything available today.
Possibly a shitty door.
Oh,
As you look around, you find a remarkably low amount of door salesmen.
I'm looking for a nat 20 somewhere.
Right.
Edgar, Tidge and I visited the shop earlier, and they had several scrolls for sale. Something we might be interested in. So one of them is Fireball, one of them is Counterspell, another's this hut I'm not familiar with.
So we buy them all.
If you'd like to withdraw all of our savings.
That's just stupid. How am I supposed to get my horse?
Well,
Your hearse?
Horse! You
What?
know, you ride on it like a little pony.
I mean, that'd be so rude to the dead person in the box.
I thought. Horse.
I'm gonna look over to Aurelio. Big guy. Oh,
An equine creature. Big
Yeah.
care.
do you know what an equine creature is?
I scratch my head.
All right.
he's making fun of your accent.
I see he is. It's
Uh,
very rude, since I don't make fun of him very often.
You should way more. Oh,
I thought you were supposed to be a good person.
I am when I'm sober.
Yeah, you're quite shitty when you're drunk.
Hey, I'm an explorer
Of what?
of disappointing mice and keys.
And apparently going into strange doors with creepy bug people.
And I'm gonna take the next right because
Did they
that's
touch you funny,
where I feel like
Edgar?
going.
You came back with no clothes on.
I made Tidge not. I made Tidge promise not to say.
As you turn down and head over towards this nearby street, things are a little bit quieter in this direction, though there's still plenty of folk wandering up and down the different laneways. And there are all sorts of shops that have lights there, and people haggling outside and whatnot. You hear the clanging of a blacksmith's hammer.
I stop.
But then, you pause. And you pause because you hear something that you recognize. And Edgar, you get this as well. You hear a strange speech. Somebody is talking in a language that's kind of familiar to you. It's far away enough that you don't really understand what's being said, but you recognize the sort of cadence and the way it's spoken as being dwarvish, and after a moment later you realize that it sounds exactly like the dwarves you spoke with on the ship that day.
Egad.
I just look at Edgar and I point in the direction.
Sure.
What? What?
You point
You
down
hear
an
that?
alleyway.
It's the dwarves from the ship.
I look at him and shake my head like, and?
They're here.
Okay. What? Do you want to go? Do you want to go see them?
I don't know. Think we can afford one of those stones?
Look, I have a pretty good buzz going right now, and they're just crotchety fucks. But if you want to go see them, and what did they ask for last time? I think they asked for 1,000 gold minimum.
I believe so.
We don't even have that.
Well,
You know what?
There-
Let's go check it out. We have
Why
a
not?
little more of a bankroll.
You know, we would have if Edgar hadn't suggested we turn those suits of armor and I'd chink on his armor. I flick it a little in.
And be nice people, yeah.
if they said they weren't going to stick around very long, if they're still here, I don't know.
That is unusual. Maybe they did what they were supposed to and came back to Horus Rent. They might be getting a ship away. Well, no harm. I mean, we have a better bankroll now. Might be an opportunity there.
We might be able to do work, and a little forward payment. Combination of work and the payment too.
I'm gonna adjust my collar here. Well, as a paladin of Metri, I can put on the charm. You know what I'm saying?
Don't give yourself too much credit, Edgar. You're not that handsome.
I almost single-handedly ended the entire bandit camp, so I think
Oh,
I
I'm
know what
sorry.
I'm
Does
talking
that make you handsome? No.
I'm pretty sure that was him.
I am
I just
a
pointed to it.
shit. It's a fact.
You were busy tied up, if I recall.
Yeah, the little guy did unleash a disturbing amount of destruction in that room. I don't think you guys saw it, but the blood went up to the ankles.
Oh no, I heard.
Tidge told me all about his story.
I've heard like 5 times at least now.
So do you believe it?
Yeah. At first I didn't. I had my doubts. But he explained himself and it makes sense. I don't think you could just make that up. If you could, he's a pretty good storyteller.
I'm not. I'm not a very good storyteller.
I'm just gonna start walking.
Okay.
Probably due to all of his experience he's had before in adventuring.
You can go
Yes,
ahead and
he's-
move yourself on the map if you want there.
Okay. So those are the dwarves down below.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll start walking.
Sure. You guys turn the corner and see them there, and immediately you can tell that they're having a somewhat private conversation, just from their body language. They're all very clustered together, and their heads are kind of held low in like a football huddle of some kind. And when you guys turn the corner there, one of them turns to face you, and you hear him say the like dwarvish, not phrase, but like the slang kind of just to shush everybody, and they all kind of pause and look over, seeing you guys approach. And he turns and goes, "The fuck?"
Is that in Dwarvish or common?
Yeah, he speaks in Dwarvish.
I'll
You the
try to
ones from
sound
the
it.
ship?
Aye, that's us.
He tilts his head for a second as he looks at you, and
Oh, thank God.
the narrow one. He looks at you and says, "What do you want?"
Well, look, my comrades and I, which you maybe understandably turned away on the ship, I'm gonna mid-sentence activate my paragon of something here. Give myself +5 to persuasion.
Ah, okay.
So I'll use my channel divinity. You understandably turned us away on the ship, but in the short time we've been here, we've earned what? Nearly 1,000 gold? We're looking to maybe do some business.
The dwarves look at each other. One of them turns to you. Hold on a second. You hear them kind of whispering in hushed tones and whatnot. And then, I'd like you to make a perception check to see if you can hear any of it. Now,
Sure.
given that you're drunk, I'm going to go ahead and give you a disadvantage.
Okay.
There's plenty of people in the street and stuff, and it's not the easiest. Edgar, can you stop? Can you Can you calm down with the 20s?
Well, it's disadvantage, so you can forget it.
Tuesday group had like 21s to share.
That's an 11 then.
An 11. Okay, you can hear them, and you get a couple of words. And you hear one of them says, maybe it's worth a shot. And then the other one goes, you believe he's fucking drunk. And eventually one of them turns around and faces the group, and he says, "Alright, we'll negotiate. Let's
Absolutely.
get off the street. Here." And he points to like an alleyway nearby.
I'll
Is
look
there a
at.
shitty looking door?
I'll look to the rest of them. We're good with this?
It's a little suspicious that not all of them are here.
Good
How
eye.
many were there?
5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken.
I would
More
have
than-
remembered how many were there.
Mm-hmm.
How many were there?
I think it was 5. Yeah.
5. Okay.
I'll look to Tidge. Tidge, do you do you still have the potion of life that I gave you?
I do.
You mind handing it to me?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I have my fetish whip, my this, and some gold. We'll see what we can do, and I'll start walking down.
Okay. You turn the corner there and see that the little alleyway here is a pretty secluded spot. There's a tiny little well at the back, and it's sort of like a courtyard between buildings. It's actually a somewhat picturesque spot for a business deal. And
Now, question for you. The fetish whip, does it look otherworldly, or does it look like common craft?
the daggers on it are clearly daggers, but the way that they're made is very uncommon. It looks like a. Do you know? Is it? It's either like I think it's Vietnamese. They have those swords that are like really wavy, kind of. You seen those before?
No.
No.
Or Dirk?
A dirk.
I'm looking. I'm trying to find them right now.
Isn't that what it's called?
I think dirks are Middle Eastern, like
They're
the
just
traditional
small
ones that
knives.
you're thinking of.
Is it Taiwanese? Oh, here. Yeah, so it kind of they look sort of like small versions of this.
Oh shit! Okay, cool.
Yeah, so they're definitely like nobody makes those, right? Like maybe somebody's seen that as a ceremonial thing or like a blacksmith trying to show off, but like 99% of people would be like, "That's weird. Where the fuck did you get that?"
So I'll put my back to the dwarves as I'm like walking backwards slowly here. I'll look to Tidge and Annabelle here. Guys, by the way, the whip thing. You guys interested in that, or can I pawn it off?
I mean, I really don't have any use for it.
No.
All right. I'll turn around and can I like? Is there a roll that I can make to try to like clear my head here and sober up as much as I can?
You can make a
considering
con
I'm
save for sure.
I'm secretly hoping I fail this so I can fucking
Fall into
vomit
the
in
well.
an alley. I just want to vomit in the alley on my way. But anyways, we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's been a few hours since you're drinking, but your drinking was not exactly a light session. And, every now and then you keep having to do the, like, pep, get me back up into shape here as you start to slowly drift into, worse drunkenness and then, bring it back. That's kind of fading right now. And you feel like you need to sort of pep yourself up again, or you're going to be sort of slurring your words and whatnot during this conversation.
Okay. I'll walk in. Gentlemen, where are your other friends?
They're
I'm
busy
saying this in
town.
Dwarvish, by the way. Okay. All right. What kind of business are you proposing?
Same as before. You remember, I trust.
Yes, although our funds are with a bank, and we're not prone to bringing that much gold into an alleyway. So if you're willing, show us the goods, or at least tell me what you're proposing, and we'll work our way from there. We also have some goods of our own that might be of interest to you.
There's only one good.
Okay.
Say, you got any of that ale left?
He's talking to me?
Yeah. It
I have
seems
ale?
that they know that you're drunk.
Okay. Unfortunately, and I just tap on my breastplate around my midsection here. It's all down here.
Damn. They kind of look at each other, and one of them gives like a look of sadness, and the other one turns to you and he says, "All right, you said you had 1,000."
No. I said we had around 1,000. And between the 5 of us, we can muster about, say, 700, maybe 750. And we also have some goods for sale as well. So we might be able to strike a bargain. Depends on this. And I'll hush my tone, Sovereign Stone, and what it does.
We're going back to Marenheim. It better be something worth buying. Prefer the coin. Do you have gems?
I'll look to Tidge. Don't we have... And I'll look to Kalik. Don't we have gems?
I don't have any.
I could have sworn you guys had. I'll look back. I'm not sure about the gems. However, believe me or not, I am drunk after all. And I'm still... My channel divinity is still going here, so hopefully it's doing something. I did have a run-in with some interplanar creatures. And whether you believe me or not, I have come back with some odd trinkets. Those could be of interest to you, I'm not sure.
Alright. One of them gives a nod to the other, and the other one reaches into his coat and pulls something out, and a small stone is pulled from beyond his breastplate here. And I'm going to go ahead and have somebody roll something to see which stone it is exactly. Would somebody...
Steve, are you in? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm here.
He's the one with the luck die, but sorry if you're
Sure,
going to
yeah.
say something else.
Would somebody kindly roll a d20 to see what kind of stone it is? Now, there's no better or worse or anything. This is just a random stone.
Nice.
Number 12. Let's see if
Really?
anyone's gotten that before. Oh, okay. You see a perfectly cut gem produced from the back of this breastplate. It is largely purple, and when the light hits it, it doesn't filter through entirely. There seems to be a center to the gem, which is almost kind of dark and blots out the light, but it looks pristine, and as he holds it there, you just get a sense that it's incredibly valuable.
You guys are the... Actually, I'll stop mid-sentence. Kalik, Tidge, you guys are book smart. Do you know anything about this?
In Dwarvish, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and activate my Knowledge of the Ages, Channel Divinity, to give me proficiency in Persuasion.
Sure.
And I'll
You can
walk
do that
up.
too? Cool.
Yep. And in Dwarvish, I will ask, may I identify that?
As you approach, one of them kind of sniffs at the air, and another one says, "Your Dwarvish is good, kid."
I'll just kind of nod.
He hands the thing over to you, and as you hold it in your hand, you can see that the purple gem is actually in motion. When you hold it in your hand and bring it closer, it's almost like a film starts to play, or some kind of like effect begins to go off. And as you look at it, you watch what looks like a creeping darkness from within the gem, right at its heart, that starts to sort of seep out in tendrils towards the edge of the gem, and it kind of like almost like licks along the outside of the gem, like some sort of plant or creature in it pawing at the outside of a cage.
Under my breath, this is so cool. And I'll go ahead and cast Identify.
Oh, make an Arcana check for me first. You might actually just know what it is,
Oh, sure.
given that you've done so much book stuff in your life.
Arcana, I believe, is +5. Yep. 17.
Okay.
Nice.
You actually know what this is, and I will tell you table talk. You won't get anything extra from Identify. You know that this is a void amethyst, and it is related to chaos, darkness, and the underworld.
Wow.
And as with all sovereign stones, you would know this, the manifestation of what you get out of the thing once it's socketed into an item is not predictable. It'll be related to one of the things, but there's really no way to tell what's going to come out, so you can't really identify that.
What were the 3 domains again? I'm sorry. The void.
Oh, chaos,
There's a void.
darkness, and the underworld.
Cool. I was writing it down.
The dwarf speaks up. It's the real deal.
That it is.
He extends his hand
amethyst.
for you to hand it back to him.
I'll
Run for it.
I'll hold it up a little bit more, examine it for another moment, and then plop it back into his hand.
He takes the thing and stuffs it back into his mate's coat there, and he says, "Hey, let's talk a price."
I'll look to Edgar and I'll just kind of shrug and I'll be like, it's the real deal.
But what does it do?
It depends on what you put it in.
Yeah, people. It's kind of touch and go thing. I don't know much about them. I just know you can't exactly predict in advance. It's also we have to discuss, and I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'll look to the dwarves. We have to discuss if we want to spend on one item for one of us.
I'd like you to make a insight roll, please, Edgar.
Sure. Viet Cobb. 19
Lord
plus.
Almighty.
My insight is dope. 23. Sorry.
Okay. You can tell from both your channel divinity and the fact that both of your dwarven speakers are drunk in the middle of the day has bought rapport with the dwarves, and they don't seem standoffish the way they were back in the hallway when you guys had met them, trying to like offer your services to work for them. They seem kind of like at home here, and even the sort of shady atmosphere that they had back when you met them at the street side has seemingly vanished. It feels a lot more business casual.
Well, look, guys, you're all the brains here. I don't mind talking, but do you guys, Tidge, Annabelle, Kalik, Aurelio, do you guys want to maybe talk about how you guys would maybe use this? I'll start showing them the items we have, and I'll see if we can get a fixed price.
Sure. I guess.
Would our dwarven friends be more comfortable sitting down in a bar, having a drink? Or do they prefer the isolation?
Or perhaps a closed room.
You hear that, guys? Do you wanna drink while we talk?
The dwarves look at each other, and then one turns and nods. Aye!
We know a great bar down the way.
I bet you do.
That's where we started all this.
As you can see, tried, tested, and true.
Alright,
look,
yeah, sure. Lead on.
let's chat while we walk. And I guess I'll start walking back.
Sure.
I'll stay behind, though. I want to be near them.
Sure. They walk with your group, and you guys wander off and head for that tavern that you guys know.
Now, item 1. This thing was offered to me by an insectoid creature, different plane of existence. Behold, the whip of the other plane. And I'll hand it out. I'll let them examine it.
He grabs the rope here and looks at the different daggers and goes, "What the fuck is this thing?"
I'm just gonna let the aura of suspense kind of dangle there. I'll let them figure it out. Tidge.
I'm everywhere.
One
What do you
looks at it
reckon
and
that's
says, I don't mean to be rude, but it looks like a piece of shit.
You're saying this, coming from a different plane of existence, is completely worthless to you?
It looks like some kind of shit one of them elves would want.
Fair enough.
He-
Second item. Oh, go ahead.
He kind of, like, holds it up there looking at the blades, and he kind of taps one with his fingers, says, doesn't even have any fucking hammers or spikes or nothing on it.
Now, tell me this, Master Dwarf. What about for the ore? Forget the rope for a second, forget the shapes. That metal could be very valuable. Look at the shape, look at the... Doesn't look like a standard metal.
The dwarves are going to know what this is through their combined power of dwarvishness. So I need somebody to make a luck roll here to see if it's actually worth anything. Or if it's just like shitty iron.
Shit.
3.
Oh no, Connor's rolling.
It's mithril!
Oh! Is the curse broken?
It might be.
Well, if you think about it, that's 20 minus 3, so no.
What?
This is 17.
I mean, 17's dope.
One of them
Yeah,
looks
so
at it and says,
it's-
it's a fucking right bastard who decided to make stupid daggers like this out of such fine steel. I'll give you 20 gold for it.
Make it 25.
It's 22.
I'll spit in my hand and hand it out.
Sure. Yeah, he shakes your hand there after spitting and reaches into his pocket and at the table puts down the gold there and takes the thing. He just rips off like the daggers from the rope. And while the barmaid's there, he's like, "Miss, can you just throw this in the fucking shit?"
I'll take the 20 and I'll split it into 4 like 5 piles of 4 and I'll hand it out to everyone.
Sure. You lose 1 fetish whip.
Nice. All right, next item on the docket, something we definitely don't want to get rid of, but could be interesting. We call it the elixir of life, and I'll hand it out.
They give it a look, and one says, "So what's this? Like a potion of healing?"
Not just a potion of healing. This is one of those potions that are worth about 1,000 gold. And we're talking market price. Could be lower if I were to bargain it down, of course, and if I were to try to sell it, it would not be that. That's what a shop would probably try to sell it at. But this isn't simply to fix a scraped knee or even a broken arm. This could bring someone back from the dead and have them up at full fighting form just after a sip.
We could take it to a shop to identify it, to confirm it from a third party.
But as you saw with my friend here, and I'll point to Kalik and put like a firm hand on his shoulder, he's reliable and he knows what he's talking about. He's the one who identified this thing. Again, I know you guys travel with sensitive equipment, and even if we buy the Sovereign Stone, you don't know if you're going to get into a scrape. This thing could change the tide of battle.
I'd be willing to make an offer if we choose who identifies it.
I'll look to Kalik, Tidge, and the rest of the group.
It's very fair.
We have no problem with that. We're honest here. As you can see, I'm a paladin, and the rest of us here can't speak for Annabelle, but she's she's righteous in her own right.
Are you still
she-
talking Dwarvish?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'll speak common.
I still know I know what you said.
Okay. You know what? Gentlemen, do you mind speaking common? I don't mean to be rude to the rest of my group here. Not all of us are fluent in your magnificent tongue.
Fine.
In Dwarvish. It's a shame.
It's a great language.
They start speaking in common, so Arillo and Annabelle can kind of chime in to what's going on here.
Okay, so you're gonna make an offer. We get it. No problem.
Got anything
let's
else?
Let's not interrupt a good drink just for an identifying trip. Let's keep going, guys.
Miss, can we get some drinks?
The lady, quickly starts to grab some cups over there from behind the bar and gets some stuff ready for you.
Gentlemen, anything else that you've acquired in your adventures that you think these gentlemen would care to take a look at? Anybody?
No.
Can't say that I have.
All right. Well, it looks like that's what we have to offer besides hard gold.
Well, be willing to give this up for 1,000.
Look, oh, sorry, go ahead, Tidge.
Could you tell us, or perhaps give us some insight into what could be done with this particular one?
No telling what'll happen. I mean, I'd suggest you put it in a strong hammer, maybe a good shield, some armor. Fuck, put it in a teapot if you want.
Shit.
Magic works either way, as long as it's metal.
That sure would be interesting.
That's a teapot.
To make
Aye.
some fine tea, I guess. Right. So, look, we don't want to let you guys go home after a voyage empty-handed and, stuck with a sovereign stone. So, let's talk price. Identify or no identify. If you were going to throw out a price for this elixir of life, what are you giving me? Assuming the person identifying relays information we.
If it is what you say, I'd maybe give you 300. Maybe 5. Depends how strong it is.
Alright. Look. For this item, we're willing to throw in. I'll look to the rest of the group. I think with the elixir being bartered, if you give us the Sovereign Stone at 650, 700, we give you the elixir, pays off some of it, we'll give you the rest in gold. You guys go home. Big purse, call it a successful voyage.
650.
And we can strike this deal today. 650. We identify the elixir, see what it's worth. If it's worth 500, we'll give you 150 in gold. If it's worth 350, we'll give you the difference regardless.
Alright, let's go see how strong this thing is.
I'll smile to Tidge and Kalik and then the rest of the party.
There's
All
a
right.
magic shop here in town. Would you care for them to identify it?
We'll pick what shop it is.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's right. You had you did go visit that one girl, right? A couple of times.
Yes.
We did.
She was nice. All right, gentlemen. Well, and I'll take my. Has the waitress
Excellent.
come back with drinks?
You guys have been sitting here for a couple minutes and you've had like a pint each.
I would have like pushed my pint over to the dwarves. I'm trying to stay as sober as fucking possible.
I would have done the same.
Oh. They'll look to
Not
you
me, I'm
guys
drinking that shit.
like offended and be like,
Oh, right. Okay, I would have known that. Then I'll sip. I'm sorry. Yeah, that didn't even occur to me.
Kalik, when you go to offer up your drink there, they go, what, you're not gonna drink with us?
Of course I'm gonna drink. I was making sure you had your second.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Constitution checks, please.
No.
Oh,
The
okay,
Puzzle
you're
King
good.
is-
19.
Puzzle King has fucked me before.
No.
Is this a
That's
save?
a
10.
20.
Yeah, con save.
Oh! Based roll!
4.
A 4?
Con check for me is a. That's a 21.
Okay. So you guys are feeling pretty good as you leave the table here. You know, you're topped up, but you're not considerably drunker. You know, just a light ale isn't a big deal. Titch, however, this seems to be the one that kind of pushes you over the edge, and you're sort of stumbling around a little bit, following the group on the way out. Now,
Just like to mention Erlo's fucked too.
I rolled a 10. I don't know what that means. But...
okay, you're holding it together then. As you guys leave the shop, the dwarves lead you towards the towards that market district again, and they kind of look around. And one of them picks out what looks like a it's like a, what's it called? An apothecary that sells herbalism and alchemist supplies and whatnot. And they step inside and mention, you know, we need something identified. She gives a price, however, and says that it's going to cost 20 gold.
Gentlemen dwarves, if you agree, and I'll look to the shopkeep. We have the materials for an identify, and we have the know-how as well. Could you simply corroborate his assessment for, let's say, 10 gold?
I suppose.
And I'll look to the dwarves. 5 each.
Aye.
Alright, I'll put 5 down on my own.
He puts 5 up on the counter, and this disappears, and afterwards the person does this little spell and eventually turns over towards the dwarves, telling them the same thing that you already know. This heals 50 health points immediately.
Which is bananas, right? As far as healing goes?
Which
That's-
is bananas, right?
That would be equivalent to...
A
Actually,
super duper greater healing.
Actually, I need to satisfy my own curiosity here. That is equal to...
Mighty Morphin Power Ranger healing potion.
It's pretty close to the heal spell, isn't it?
Oh, like the level 5 shit? Or whatever the fuck it is? Like crazy
Isn't
one?
it like 6 or something?
Maybe. Are we sure we want to sell that? Well, it is a Sovereign Stone after all.
Yeah.
Tied to Chaos, the Void, and the Underworld.
And if we drink it, like 20 of the 50 is going to waste anyways. None of us will
Yeah, we have to
high
keep
level.
it forever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a superior healing potion, and that would give... Oh no, this is...
Higher than that.
Yeah, this
Heals-
is actually closer to a supreme, so...
That's a big dick healing potion.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the shopkeep, you know, hands the thing back, and at one point the dwarf goes, well, what's it worth? And he says, well, base price, anywhere from 11 to 1400.
Oh, we lowballed it!
You guys, I would say, given how much you've drank, I'm not going to allow saves. You all just, like, it's like jaw drop moment when you're drinking this. Like, you had no idea what that was actually worth, and just, you know, you're kind of blown back, and the dwarves, too, realize it, and they're just, everybody's kind of in this moment here staring at the thing.
You fucking lowballed it, Edgar.
Thank you, gentlemen, for insisting on the check. That would have been bad for us.
The shopkeep looks at you. He's a man in his 30s there, nice coat and everything. Smells like all sorts of weird herbs and whatnot. And he goes, yeah, you probably could have paid the 20 gold. Gives you a smile.
Nope. I'll just kind of smile
You're
and
a
look
funny
away.
guy.
I'll
We're
smile and
shrewd
look away.
business people.
The dwarves go, well, thank you. And, you know, he hands the potion back to you guys, and they step outside into the busy market.
I'll walk out with them. Fucking payday in hand.
Okay, so it's like this, the new offer. How about you give just the potion, we forget the coin, and leave it there.
Right, what about all the daggers that you took off the rope?
He already
You already
paid.
paid for those.
No. Let's
you
leave that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
It was also in Dwarvish that we were saying it, so it makes sense that you didn't hear about the terms. No deal, guys. Sorry, but we assessed the Sovereign Stone at half the price that they just quoted us.
Half
have
the
another
price.
one.
This thing is worth well 1,000 or more.
Well, no, it's worth 650.
650. What?
It was worth
That's the
650 with With the potion.
With the potion.
That's well. I thought I broke it down for them very easily. Sorry, if maybe
I
I wasn't
understood.
clear when I talk it when I said,
understood.
but when I said like 650 and whatever the potion nets, I thought it was going to be 300 to 400 gold. We were to pay the rest in gold. Is the way I did you guys
Oh, I
understood
see,
differently?
I see.
650 total.
Did you guys understand the way Alicia thought?
Oh no, I understood it the way you meant it.
The way I meant it.
It-
Okay.
It would be 650 total.
Okay. Well, I mean, then they wouldn't have ever sold it to us if that's their understanding. Okay.
I was under the impression they were going for the.
All right. Maybe lost in
Plus.
translation there.
Edgar, I think it's more than fair. If we were to sell the potion elsewhere, we would take a hit.
You're right.
Anyways, and I think on good faith. Ed, I don't know.
Well, here's, gentlemen, let's consider it a done deal. But before we shake on it, I was wondering, is there something that you can do to top up the difference? Do you have maybe a dwarven craft weapon, something not
That we
necessarily
can put it in.
something not necessarily outrageous? We don't want to. We want to keep things fair, but could be a long sword. It could be mastercrafts, a shield. It could be a weapon of sorts that we could use, an axe.
Our
any-
gear's our own there, human. We can give you some gold. What do you guys say, maybe 50? Give you a bag of 50 gold.
I'll look to the rest of the group. What do you guys think?
50 in the stone.
I'll
Yeah,
be
that sounds
nodding,
fair.
nodding.
All right.
like crazy.
I'll look at them as a paladin of Metru. You have my word. It's a deal. And I'll hand over. I'll put my hand out for the stone, and in the other fist, I'll put out the elixir. Like I want to swap it at the same time.
Sure. You see, one of them is busy, messing with a bag of gold, getting some of the coins out, while another one puts the stone in your hand, and you hand this off to him.
I'll hand the potion, but
Sure.
before I do, I want to I have my hand out with the potion, and I'm just gonna bring the hand over to Kalik on my right, and just look at him like, is this still the real deal?
Hmm.
Because they could have did a sleight of hand in there. I don't know.
Sure.
I'll
As you give it a look, it looks
at
the
it.
same as before.
And from what I know about sovereign stones, like when you look at them, there's no fake in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
The effect on them when the stuff starts moving around is not really replicated. You can't really duplicate
Yep.
the thing.
so I'll hand off the potion, and
Okay. You
Yeah, I'll
also
start-
get 50 gold.
I'll split that up 10 each to everyone.
Did you
Sure.
split the other gold up too?
The
From
what?
The whip. The gold from the whip. Did you split?
Yeah, I already gave 5 to everybody.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
So everybody gets 5 from that, and then everybody gets 10 from this being split up. And you guys get a sovereign stone.
oh.
The dwarves give you a look, and one says, well, pleasure doing business with you.
Hey, safe travels to Marenheim, eh? Keep those heads on those shoulders.
He gives you a firm dwarven handshake, and then they, turn and head off. And you
In
guys are the
Dwarvish?
first group to get a sovereign stone.
Woo! As the Lucian goes like, fuck! Why did I give him a health potion that heals 50? I'll hand it off to Tidge.
I don't feel
There you
bad
go.
about it, because, the way you guys play, one of you might have just drank that, it...
That's true. It's so true.
Well, I mean, if things had gone sour in the caves, then
yeah,
I mean,
You
I
would've-
had it.
You would have drank 1,100 gold.
delicious.
Wait, let me puke it up. It'll be worth half as much.
Gold doesn't mean anything if you're dead, though. So
That's true.
It tastes like horrible debt.
There you go, Tidge.
Ah,
Tidge, you hold in your hand a beautiful purple gem. It has some kind of darkness in it that moves around, almost with sentience.
okay, so
Well, before they go, can I ask them? Right. So, this is like a touchy matter. Where will we take it to get it socketed into?
You just
An
smash
item.
it. That's it. He grabs like a blade, like he pulls out his sword there, and he just makes a motion like he's putting something on the hilt, and then just smashes it with his hand. You know, the blade kind of flops back and forth for a second, then he puts away the sword. It's that
Table
easy.
talk. Oh, damn. Table talk, do we know if you can remove the Sovereign Stone?
Oh. I do believe that you can. You will lose the weapon if you do so.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But its enchantment
Right.
is still active, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you destroy the weapon to take the socket. Or to
Mhm.
take the... Okay, cool. Alright. Well, guys, I don't know what's been happening the last few weeks, but this is great. I think we're gonna have to decide, Tidge, as a group, what happens with that stone. But for now, let's try to stay away from booze, my fuck, and get ready for Skylar here.
Yeah.
How about we start brainstorming things to vote on?
Sure. Do you want to head back to the bar and see what we can muster up?
Sure.
No
How about we
drinking.
find a shitty door?
Oh my god, imagine if we socket it into that fucking handle, the door handle.
What would
Yeah.
be the point of that, Keelik?
Wait, wouldn't that just bring us?
delete it.
Couldn't that just make a portal to the underworld?
Could.
I mean, I guess we could find out and then
I
remove
retract
it.
that idea.
Look, I'm sobering up, and that sounds like a terrible idea. Okay, like maybe one of your worst.
Or
Okay,
what
so you
about-
guys leave the market area and start to wander back, and eventually find your little spot there that seems to be your most recent haunt. And seated down there, the woman brings by some bread for you guys as you're kind of chilling and whatnot. And speaking of which, the rounds for the dwarves and everything, if you could go ahead and subtract 2 gold from somebody's purse.
I'll pay for it.
Okay.
My man.
So you guys sit down there and start to chit-chat about things, and decide what the hell you're going to put this in.
I'm just kind of sitting back in my chair, relaxing.
I mean, I really don't have anything that I can use it with. So it's
Keep
up
in
to
mind-
you guys.
Anything can be used.
Anything metal.
Uh,
They're very specific about that.
Yeah,
that's
metal.
a fair point. That's a fair point.
Hmm.
Well, we
So-
all have weapons.
My weapons are made of wood and string.
Keep in mind, we can also get creative with what metal means. I mean, it could be a belt buckle, it could be anything, but
A belt buckle to the abyss.
The key. What about the key Disappointment gave us?
Disappointment, the mouse.
yeah, if we're voting, I'm voting against that idea.
Get a collar for Disappointment with a little metal band.
Right,
Stick it-
so I have a question. We have a lot of gold left, right? So why don't we just go buy an item to put it in
What do you suggest?
something better than what we have?
Well, go
We
ahead.
know that we can take it out. It'll just destroy whatever we've smashed it into, but it might be worth putting it into something useless first to see what it does. And then after that, we can put it into something valuable.
Also, the fact
I'll
that,
take out one of my daggers.
and also the fact that nothing we have right now is necessarily valuable. Nothing on our persons, our weapons are pretty plain. We don't need to purchase a weapon now. We might come across something better in the future and for free.
My weapons are a little expensive.
Your guns.
Well,
Oh, could you imagine?
there's candidate 1. Calyx weapons.
There's also your shield.
There's also my shield, candidate 2.
I put my dagger on the table.
There's candidate 3.
Aurilla's got that
Uh,
halberd.
Candidate 4.
I take out my sling.
Candidate 5 is disqualified for not being.
I assume
about-
my wand is made of wood, right?
Yes.
I thought so.
Get off the stage. Boo.
I'll just sheepishly pull it back.
So
From
we have I'll pull my shield off my back and put it on the table as well.
Actually, I have the. No, I don't think I want to do that.
Now, table talk. I would like to mention that when it comes to deciding who gets the stone or where it goes, it can be a rather difficult thing. Don't feel afraid to just number the items and roll a die kind of thing. If you guys are comfortable with that. Because I know sometimes with groups they're like, oh, we should do this, and other times they're like, we have no idea. So that can be sometimes a fun way of doing it.
Yeah, if we want to just... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that mine would probably be the least expensive to replace.
Oh, that's also a good factor. Yeah, the gun would be like busted if you had to, swap it.
How, from our reading about Sovereign Stones, is there any drawback for taking it out of a weapon?
It becomes inactive for a time.
Okay, that's what I would want to know.
The amount of time is not reliable. Sometimes you can socket it again in a few hours. Other times it takes days.
Okay, I would.
Is there anything about it being permanent?
Oh, like just breaking it?
Yeah.
There are instances of people accidentally breaking Sovereign Stones. It can be done, but it seems to be a fairly rare occurrence.
Right, we need to be careful. There is a chance of breaking it, and it goes inactive if we destroy the weapon, if we get the gem back.
So, Annie, what if we, what if for your candidate, instead of a dagger, we use your rapier?
Right, I still think it would be the least expensive to replace. I don't know. I didn't pay very much for them. And the standards that we are accumulating wealth now. Back before we started this little adventure, it was pretty much my life savings, but from the looks of it, we could probably buy 30 of them or more.
Yeah, same can go for virtually all our weapons, yeah. It's the advantage. So, I say we all put forward one item, and we let luck decide, maybe.
I like that. It's very fair.
Alright.
And if we don't like the outcome, we can always replace the weapon and take the gem out and try again.
Of course. Well, is that what we're doing? That was just an idea. Seems like Calyx on board. But seriously, you guys,
we won't know what we're gonna get until we try it. So we can't really, I don't know, brainstorm too much about it.
Annie, you okay with this?
I'm okay with whatever.
I'm fine with it.
Now, here's the
I am
thing.
too.
What do you guys think? Do I put forward my shield or my armor?
Is that all you have? 'Cause those are some pretty valuable things. Like, what if we decide that?
Well, I don't want to put it, if I'm being honest, and I'm just seeing what your opinions are, but if I'm going to put forward one item, I don't want it to be my weapon. If I never have to use this sword again, that's, well, at least in the meantime, until I show Metri my good deeds, I'm okay with it. So I definitely want something that'll help protect the group and keep us alive rather than inflict damage. So I guess you're right. Between my shield and my armor, the shield is more replaceable. I also think that I can lose a shield. I can't lose armor.
Now, here's another thought. I take out a lantern and plop it down.
Oh.
What do you think it would do to a lantern?
I have no idea.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know what it could do. Really, I mean, it's
Again,
too big of a question mark.
it could make us see anything in the dark. It could highlight creatures of evil, or it could just give off really terrible light. Who knows?
Just makes it a dim lantern.
I think
It becomes
I think
like a
we
really
all-
expensive dimmer switch.
I think if we're all submitting an item, we have to think carefully about what item we're submitting.
Okay.
And again, it's not like we're just gonna rip the Sovereign Stone and put it into it. Even whoever luck decides, I still think we should pause and maybe consider the implications. But the implications. But all right. Well, I'll put my shield down.
Okay. Go ahead and write your shield onto the card for one of those numbers.
Oh, you have a card. That's cool.
I'm way ahead here.
Oh, we're
Rape.
doing a
Squeeze me?
6? Are we doing a 6?
For my rapier. I didn't want to spell it, so I just put rape.
Rape? A shield, okay.
Damn, you took 3.
We need to craft
Do you want
a rape
3?
shield.
No, no, you already have it.
No, I'll give you 3.
No, no, you already have it.
I'll give you 3. Take 3. I'll
Okay.
take 2. I'll take 4 actually. Oh no, I'll take 2.
Whoop.
Oh,
Take
Oh,
it.
I pressed enter.
Take 3.
Alright.
Take 3.
Alright, I'm taking 3 then.
Oh,
Why? What do you? What?
What
Do
is
you-
going?
I don't
what
know.
happened?
He's
What did you
pressing-
do?
I think
All
there's too
right.
many people edited at the same time. It just.
Yeah. All right, we're missing 1 here.
We weren't initially. Whoops, fuck. Sorry.
3 fillet.
What are we putting in
What's
for 5?
5?
Put the lantern in there.
If it no, if
Do
it,
it.
do you? Yeah.
You can if you want. It can either be like a reroll, or if you want to put in like a wild
We could
card,
do-
that's always fun.
yeah, a wild card would be fun.
I mean, Volu is run by a literal unicorn because of a wild card from last season.
I'm
A
really
lantern
stuck.
would be really easy to replace.
That's
Yeah.
true. But we can also destroy the Sovereign Stone potentially.
Hey, you never know.
Down a
We're
gold
gonna be
coin.
that one group that.
First to get a Sovereign Stone, first to destroy one.
Welfare Wednesday.
Brr, 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 brr.
Yeah, but we
That's
still
all
have
I
money.
got, so.
Well,
now.
no, Sovereign Stone's gonna be like our bad luck, and then we're gonna lose all of our money.
All right, guys. Well, eyes submit a vote. 5 for a lantern. Any eyes?
Sure.
Aye.
Aye.
Sure.
There you go. 5 is lantern.
Shall I write it?
Sure.
I'll go for it. So, there aren't multiple people. There we go. Well, I think it's only fair that the person with the worst luck possible roll, or I as a...
You should roll.
Yeah, okay.
Man.
Here we go, boyos.
Fire.
Oh,
The necklace. Ah.
I
Okay.
like that.
You guys, cast a die there on the table after numbering out the items, and it points to the one offering Tidge put up. As odd as it is, especially given that he has basically nothing else on him that's metal. Maybe that's destiny. Who knows? What kind of necklace was it, by the way?
it was the gold chain.
The gold chain that I.
Oh, the one that we won, that you lost and then won back. That
From the temple,
Kalik won
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
So it's a gold chain from the temple, which was then lost into a gambling ring, and then won back, then given to Tidge as a souvenir.
Yes, I won
Yeah.
it back. Or did I win it back?
You won it.
I won
Yeah.
it, gave it to Kalik. Kalik gave it to Tidge. That's
I
right.
gave it.
So this
I
thing's
gave
been
it
around.
When I almost died.
Yeah, when he almost died, I gave it back when I healed him.
So this was literally owned by a priest of the librarian at some point.
Well,
Presumably.
it's fitting. It's fitting that the party leader gets the Sovereign Stone. Put it in there, motherfucker!
All right. Here goes. And I'll put it in there, motherfucker.
So you go ahead and lay down this necklace, and it's basically just it's just a gold chain, essentially. There's no real pendant on it or anything, and you just find the spot that's sort of opposite to where the clasp is, put the stone above it, and then what do you do?
I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and then just slap it down,
Okay.
just
You
like
s-
the dwarf did.
You swing down and slap the table. The sound of you hitting the table isn't really any different than other noises going on throughout the tavern, so you don't really draw any attention when you do this. But for those of you nearby, you witness what looks like a brief flash of light that comes out from underneath his fingers and his palm. And when he brings back his hand, you see there's like a little wisp of smoke almost. And the gem has altered the item entirely. The gold chain seems thicker, and the area where it meets with the gem actually has like a lining of gold that now goes around the amethyst itself. The amethyst as well somehow seems to have shrunk remarkably, and has gone from being like 2 inches across to like maybe 1 at best.
Can I just say table talk? That all this criticism about me losing the armor and my little rape romp into a different plane of existence with insects got the healing potion that the goddess does. So no more criticism!
No one could have expected that.
Tidge, may I?
Please, tell
Thank
me
you.
what I've done.
I'll identify it.
Okay.
That's remarkable.
We're gonna go to a brief 5-10 minute break as I brew up your custom item. But before we do that, I need a luck roll to see how awesome it is.
Guys, this was fucking.
Oh,
Oh no.
and you roll it too.
Hey, this is
Oh,
fitting.
no.
It's fate.
super
Look,
good.
look. Hold on. It's $1,000 item. You're gonna get something neat. It's just where on the neat scale, right? So
Okay.
if you
get
roll
an
low,
11. You get
Roll
an
another
11.
20.
Oh. You get
Right,
an 11.
last time I got him cloak of many things, so here
It-
goes.
It's an amulet of Viagra. Oh,
Okay.
perfectly
it
average.
wasn't a 1. All right. So we're gonna go to a break and then we'll come back and I'll tell you what it is.
Oh my god, we have a Sovereign Stone item. It's so exciting.
I'll be right back.
Dude, what if it makes your Eldritch Blast like fucking OP as shit?
Gonna heat up some tea, BRB.
Wouldn't that be cool? You get an Eldritch Blast related invocation when you wear the amulet.
That's insane. That would be insane.
Chaos, dark, or underworld.
What's your
You
patron?
unlock
It's
the
not a
patron
fiend,
mode.
right? It's an old one. No. Yours is a celestial, obviously. Okay.
See him here.
No, he left. I'm talking to myself.
Oh, okay. His necklace turned into a pimp necklace.
It's a giant clock. Like Flava Flav.
Yep. Oh, my last of my peanut butter wafers. These things are good.
Oh, this pipe is fucking.
I think no matter what that Sovereign Stone costs, like the opportunity cost of just one healing potion versus something we can benefit from,
Right.
like going forward, like each fight or some utility thing going forward, having that at the ready is much better than just a one-use item.
I 100% agree. First of all, we don't know if the vial can shatter. Second of all, if we don't even know in a certain situation if we're going to be able to actually go administer it to somebody, if they are downed. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 100% down with getting a Sovereign Stone. And it's a gift that keeps on giving.
On that card, do we want to just change it from our weapons to our names? And then just keep that card for every time we roll for this stuff? Or
It's whatever. We'll make a new card.
Doesn't matter.
oh, he's got the card right there from the looks of it.
I'm back.
So,
Talking about how all excited we are.
See,
You're,
I'm
yeah.
really satisfied that it ended up being that
Same. And it's got real like it's got a real value to it too. Like it's not just an item; it's something that meant something to him, which I love.
I was so close to being just like, I don't have anything that I want to potentially lose.
Oh,
So
dude, no.
you guys do it. But then I saw Kalik put his rifle on there, and I was like, okay.
Nah, dude, I'm sorry, but an amulet from the Great Librarian's follower is perfect. Perfect. I don't know how thrilled he'd be about an underworld stone. being
That was my
inside.
biggest trepidation.
Ah. And if we don't want it, you have to destroy the chain.
Exactly.
imagine if you put down a bullet Kalik.
One time
What?
use.
One time
The-
use.
The God
One-time
Killer.
use cyber-
No, you can just
Yeah,
shoot
you
him.
shoot
Just
it.
shoot him in like the femur or something, and then you can recover it.
Unless.
Oh man, if I
unless
missed that
the-
shot.
Yeah.
Oh.
And what if the guy's got a metal plate in his leg? Boom! Just delivered a Sovereign Stone
Oh,
Express
shit.
into the enemy.
Surprise, motherfucker! This guy was made of metal.
Kalik spends 10 long rests digging out a bullet out of the wall.
Yeah.
The only other things I had was a small knife, which is like a starting gear sort of thing, and then the pen. And I was like,
Pen would've
I'm
been
not
cool.
putting
Pen
it in
would
the
have been
pen.
cool.
I would have been 100% down with the pen.
I would not sully the pen. Potentially, so like obviously it's like a Sovereign Stone, so it's not sullying it, but it's just
Yeah, but what you're talking about is perfect RP for Tidge, but we're
Oh,
just
yeah,
talking
100%.
tabletop. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it'd be cool, but you're right.
it would have been awesome.
Yeah,
Probably.
but you're right. I don't think Tidge would be comfortable.
100%, he would never do that. It was hard enough to do the necklace.
That's true. Yeah.
Erlo has half a brain, he'll do whatever.
I have a long, sharp stick.
It has metal on end.
Yeah, but what if it's like you if you got it for your halberd and it's like you transport people to hell? It's just like boom, gone.
I was thinking
It's better
maybe
to
if you
stay away. If I miss an attack and hit one of you guys.
Well, we all have to stay away from you anyway with your storm aura.
No, you don't.
Oh, that's right. It's people, creatures you
Keep
choose.
forgetting that. Yeah, it's creatures I choose.
I'm not supposed to know that shit. That's some serious metagaming.
I love it. You keep forgetting, man. It's like, well,
I thought you read up on Storm Herald.
I did, but I forgot when I became a celestial warlock.
I've already created a second character. Just in the off chance.
How many
It's like-
fights have we had this campaign? It's been only been like 3, right? No, 4.
yeah, but they've been.
They've
big
been,
fun.
yeah, hardcore for sure. A flaming set of armor.
Yep.
That was fun. That one killed me almost.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got this scar.
Do you know how I got these stars? Stars?
I painted them on my leather armor.
And he got tased into a coma. From a door. Thanks, computer, for making me go deaf.
Steve, I was gonna make a silly joke when you joined tabletop. I'd be like, "Oh, his update finally finished."
Great, now
It
you
actually
retroactively
finished, like-
made a silly joke.
It actually finished like the minute we finished last week.
Feels bad.
So at that point, I just gave up. I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to bed.
What did you do? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were like grabbing bandits. It's like I
What?
had to make some rolls for you. I just couldn't remember why.
Yeah,
You like tackled a bandit and then did a somersault with him. Landed on your feet or something like that.
yeah. Fuck that guy up. So- I don't drink Mountain Dew, but
But you do?
today one of the guys that I work with got Mountain Dew, and he gave it to me, and it's called Mountain Dew Green Label. It's
Oh, it's like
very
a Jim
strange.
Beam. It's like a Jim Beam.
Yeah,
You have the black label, but now it's the premium Mountain Dew. My fuck, they out of ideas.
well, no, because there's also like a white label and a black label Mountain Dew, and this green label one is
Dew with crafted green apple kiwi.
What am I doing? Shit.
Don't know.
Tell him.
He put the wrong legs in the wrong spot on the IKEA table.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I'm back.
It's all good.
So good.
Your brother sounds very confused.
Yeah, it is.
It's not my brother.
Oh,
Is it your dog?
well done, man.
Sounds like
No,
you're
it's one of
drinking
my
water too.
Maybe. Never mind.
I'm just watching you roll dice, Mike.
I want the dice that bounce off the wall again.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know if we
Classic.
have them in this.
No, we
'Cause you
don't.
could just like smash them again into the corners and they would fly.
Yeah, now they just stop.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy he trimmed all the extra fat though, because
Yeah.
the table is way
Mhm.
more stable now.
Yeah, it is.
It used to be.
I mean, you can hit other dice.
That's true. Although I feel like I've been fucked every time that happens.
Oh, I got a 20, guys.
Me too.
Shit.
A 20.
Can I keep that for my next roll?
She's holding it for her.
Hey,
divinity.
if you want to, yeah, exactly. If you want to play divinity or divination wizard,
Divination.
Divination, yeah.
We'll start in a minute here.
I don't know
Guess
what
what?
that song is, but I love it.
Isn't it the Halls of the Mountain King?
I apologize for bag noises.
What if I just picked up all of your dice?
I'd be
Drop
upset. I'd be upset.
I
They've
actually
been
did
charging-
that the first day we
They've been
played.
charging for so long, for a full week.
Have you seen how powerful his rolls have been?
Yeah, they've been dope. I'm telling you, I keep telling you guys, charge your dice, and you never do it.
By the way, Billy, that one day, the first session that we were setting up everything, and you had all your dice there, I rolled them all, and I just remember your scream as Lucian closed the table.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Yeah, everybody thought it was me. It was not me.
it was you.
It was fucking not me.
We
Oh,
just
also-
heard his testimony. We now know equivocally it was you.
Yep.
Wait a minute, I wasn't paying any attention. What did you say?
The
Ashley
amulet.
cursed himself.
Short-term memory loss.
Uh-huh.
How about we charge this big fucker? There we go.
Okay. Sorry, peanut butter. Gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Would you make
And
like
you
a
don't
peanut
have a
butter
dog.
sandwich? Do you put like peanut butter in your dog's nose just to watch it like lick its nose?
No, she was
I
getting
see
at something
people
else.
do that and it's like weird.
I thought you were going somewhere else too.
She
No.
was.
I wasn't.
That's a bold-faced lie.
I've never done that. I can honestly tell you that is weird. I mean,
You're just
I
making
put
it
it on my
weirder at
foot
this
once, but that's about it.
You put what on your what once?
Peanut butter.
Oh,
On your
yeah.
own. Oh my
It's
God.
supposed to be. Apparently, it's supposed to be like good for your skin. I don't fucking know. Anyway, moving on.
I thought you only
Like your
put
dog
peanut
was
butter
married.
on your person if you have like gum in your hair. You put it in your hair. I saw Michael,
Yeah, I've done
Michael
that
Scott
too.
doing once.
Is that really a thing?
Is that a
Yes.
thing?
Yeah.
Is it like
It
the
like
grease?
emulsifies the gum.
Hmm.
And makes it easier to get out of all your hair. I don't know. I just gave up on the idea.
It's science.
Sometimes to just check this out.
It does sciencey things. To the flim flams and the Jim Jams.
Jim Jams are my favorite.
Okay. I am ready to go if you guys are.
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. Swap that.
This background is trippy AF. Like, if you scroll around it, it looks like it's set in like a basin.
The what? Oh, the background for the table?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, eh? It's from
Yeah,
a game
eh?
called The Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Ah, yes.
Oh, the grass needs to be cut.
The grass does need to be cut, and there's
That's
that
cool.
shitty texture thing they do down there. But anyway, as you identify the item, you find out that this has 3 charges per day. And each charge will summon from the underworld a spirit. And the spirit is summoned from a plane where the cursed are sent to be hanged for all eternity. And the spirit is not one of the hanged, but instead one of the custodians, and is a spectral horse. Now, the spectral horse that you summon is not some feral beast or anything like that. It has intelligence much beyond that of a base animal. However, you cannot communicate with it magically, and all that it can tell you is through perhaps its noises or pointing and things like that. But you can speak to it, and it will understand you. The steed cannot be ridden because it is made out of
course.
smoke, essentially. However, you can direct it to go and attack your enemies, which will consume it, and when it finds somebody and hits them, it will deal an amount of necrotic damage, which they'll have to make a save against.
Wow. Now, if it kills them, does it bring it back to the underworld for hanging?
You do not see their souls ever again.
Don't use it. Edgar's against it.
We just don't tell Edgar what happened.
Just don't tell Edgar.
Right,
They
so
go to Disneyland.
Tidge, you can use it 3 times a day. It'll summon this ghost horse. You can't ride it because it's gonna be smoke, but it'll attack our foes. Pretty spooky.
Weren't you Scottish at one point? What happened? Bring it back. Bring it back.
Someone.
He's like, shit, they're on to me.
Spooky!
I thought I was doing pretty well.
You were. You kept it up. I kept up a British borderline Australian accent for 12 months.
That was great.
Oh shit. Well, there you go.
There I go indeed.
The damage, by the way, is 4d12 necrotic.
Holy fuck.
Oh!
Half as much on a save, or?
Yes. And the save DC for it is a 12. So it's a fairly easy save to make, but you do have 3 charges a day, and the save is charisma. So you can go ahead and write that down.
Okay.
3 charges a day, summons a ghostly steed made of smoke, and its primary function is that you can direct it to attack people, which will consume it, but it will deal 4d12 on a charisma 12 save.
Now, is it like can someone swing at it and dissipate it? Does it even have hit points? Can we use it as a distraction or?
It can be banished with magic, but physical weapons will pass through it just fine.
Magical weapons will hit it though.
Yeah, so if you were to summon this and then be like, go get that guy, and it was headed for that person but got hit with like an Eldritch Bolt or something, it would dispel.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does it stay out?
It'll stay for up to an hour before it leaves.
Damn.
All you have to do is hold on to the amulet, and you can feel that you can activate it at any point.
Is it evil? Or is it kind of just
That I won't tell you.
neutral?
I can throw out a detect good and evil.
I don't have it prepared.
Perhaps
I
the
think I always have it prepared. Give me a second. I might not.
I mean, it's okay. I'm not gonna summon a horse in the middle of a bar.
No, but
Nay, motherfucker.
Maybe it's the place to summon.
no, I don't. I can cast it
I
as
do
a
have it.
ritual.
I do have it.
No, I can't. No, never mind. I'm stupid. Do you wanna
Here.
throw it out there?
It'll be my last spell of the day, but sure. I will cast.
Don't cast it yet.
Why not?
Wait until I make the horse.
Well,
Unless you want to test it on the item itself.
I'm gonna do the item itself. We're probably not going anywhere tonight. Probably not gonna cast it here in the city tonight. So I'll have another
Alright.
spell when you actually get the horse. I'll go ahead and cast it.
Okay. You're casting
Detect-
protection from, or detect
no.
good and evil?
Yeah.
Ah. The amulet shows up as neither.
Thank God.
Alright.
What comes from the other side, who knows?
Mm.
Get nothing.
How much time has passed since all of this?
In the bar here, deciding what to do, maybe like, half an hour. In total, it's probably late afternoon. The evening is going to come on soon. In a few hours, Skylar will probably be looking for you guys at the bar.
Hmm.
You could just chill here if you want, or like get a nap somewhere. I mean, it's all up to you guys. Maybe go wandering the city. It's your call. Maybe summon
anybody
a
else?
ghostly steed.
There is something I wanted to do. I could go alone though. It should be fairly quick. I remember where we met the dwarves, right? There was the sound of a blacksmith nearby.
Yes.
I'm gonna head off to the blacksmith. If anyone wants to come with, you guys are more than welcome.
Sure.
Okay. Group pops up from the tavern here, heads out. You guys pay your bill. At this point, you guys didn't really get drinks or anything, just kind of a little bit of food. So 5 silver, I'll probably do it.
I have exactly 5 silver, so I'll just
Nice.
spend it.
And soon you guys are on your way. And as you make your way down the streets, you can tell things are winding down a little bit, but there's still plenty of daylight out. And when you make it to the blacksmith, you can see an array of different items. What are you searching for?
I'm just not searching for an item in particular. I'm gonna go up to the blacksmith.
Sure. He turns to you, looks like a gruff human guy, maybe in his 40s, a little bit of a belly, huge burly arms, apron on. What can I get
Hi,
you?
hi, sir. I was wondering if you or maybe I'm not sure if you guys have guilds in Norris Ren, but if you can
That we do.
point me towards an engraver, someone of good caliber too.
I can do engraved work.
All right. My pauldron's here. Unfortunately, my armor, I've lost it. And this is a placeholder. I was wondering if you could engrave Metri's symbol, 2 chain links into the shoulders.
You're wearing chainmail, right?
Yeah, I guess. I picture myself having shoulder armor, but I guess I don't.
Just a bunch of tiny Metri symbols on every single one.
I guess it's more of a tabard thing that I would need. I know.
I would
Um,
say
Your shield.
he could quote you for putting like a small metallic plate on one side and could do the symbol there.
How about at the base of my sword, right above the hilt?
Shouldn't take too long. Metri symbol, you said.
On both sides. Actually, on one side I'd like that. On the other one, I want something a little different.
How about a balance?
No, it's something that came to me in a vision. It's a scroll, with an eye above it, radiating light.
He lays down a piece of paper in front of you and does like a rough sketch of a scroll with an eye above it, and kind of gives you an idea of what it'll look like on there. You know, puts the sword on the table, lines things up, and his sketching seems to be good. If his engraving is the same, it would be pretty nice.
Yeah, nothing too complicated. Just lights emanating from the eye, and then down below a scroll. It doesn't have to have anything on it. And if you can, a quill just over it. Again, something basic.
He redraws it, putting a couple lines down for the eye there, and then putting a quill by the book and all.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Alright. It is going to take a bit of time, though, design like this. Probably have it done by tomorrow morning.
Sure, that works. And I'll unsheath my sword and put it over. How much for the work?
Say about 10 gold.
10 gold. Could we do it for 8?
For a man of God. 8. I could do that.
I'll put my hand out to shake, and then I'll put down 8 gold.
Sure. He takes the 8 gold and gives you a little piece of paper that says that you need to come back and pick this up and that it is indeed yours. And he takes the sword and stuffs the thing away.
Perfect. Well, I guess back to the bar to the wait, or do you guys want to do some shopping around? Seems like there's some cool stuff here.
Go raid the bank account.
Do we want to buy a fireball, counterspell, or hut?
That's outside of my field of expertise. That's up to you
What's
guys.
this hut you talk about?
From what I understand, it's a temporary like place, kind of like a different dimension.
It's a spell that gives you a small place of safety. Be quite valuable on the road.
Lasts for, I think, 8 hours?
I think so.
And then is it gone, or can you go there many times?
I believe it's just a one-time
It would,
use.
this would be a one-time.
It's
sort of
kind of
thing.
like a oh shit button if we need somewhere safe to rest.
Right. Okay. Why don't we just build a hut in the woods?
But we can't really carry it around with us.
That takes...
Right, but they don't take very long.
She's genius.
I have to say, if you're gonna give me an option between paying X amount of gold for a hut or putting up some cloth and sleeping under it, as a man who's done so many times, I don't mind making one myself. That's just my 2 cents.
Let's just say we're in a pickle, in a dangerous spot. We can't afford to be found. Using this would allow us to hide safely from prying eyes.
Well, it seems like you feel strongly about it, and
Well,
if
We're
you
just
and
giving
Kit-
you all the information.
either
No,
that
no,
or
no, I mean-
counterspell.
Again, you guys know more about these things than I do, so
Alright, well, would we all have to be in the same place? Oh, I'm switching up my accent. Alright, well, we all have to be in the same place.
If I remember correctly, it's just a room.
Right, but when you cast the spell or when you use the scroll, do we all have to be in the same place in order to end up inside this hut?
You
Or could we
you
be
cast
in...
it, and a hole appears, and I believe you can just go in. You just walk.
I'm
really-
saying, if I'm halfway across the battlefield and you're way over there casting this little thing,
you have to walk up to enter it.
It's like an entryway. It's like a door.
right, so what would be the point of that? If only 30 people can get in there, will the rest of us just die or what?
Well,
I'm
Ooh.
staying out of this. At this
you
point.
misunderstood what I was saying. It's essentially a doorway that leads to another place. If you're not there, you're shit out of luck. I'm sorry.
And Table Talk, it holds 9 regular-sized humanoids.
So, us and Arillo.
Sure. Yeah, with like a little bit of space to spare for an NPC or two, kind of thing.
Take it or leave it.
How much is this hut?
130.
I want to make like an oh shit face.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
Pretty expensive for a wee shack that you can only use once.
well. Imagine.
That not everybody is guaranteed to get into, mind you.
Imagine if we're cornered, and let's say an abandoned camp. There are over 30, and they're all coming at us, not fighting each other. If we need a moment to prepare, to plan, we like to plan. It gives us an opportunity to hop in, spend a couple hours figuring out what we need to do, and then hopping right back into the thick of it.
into a trap, right? We're not stopping time.
Right.
Well,
So if we're hopping into this mid-charge, it only gives them a chance to dig a hole under us and let us go into a
Put
pit.
some spikes in there.
well, is the entrance invisible to those not allowed?
No, I don't believe so. It says, a 10-foot radius, a mobile dome of force springs into existence around and above you, and remains stationary for the duration. 9 people can fit in it. Blah, 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 blah. You can move around freely in there. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it.
No.
Okay.
Oh my
So I believe you designate, like if it's a non-friendly, it just can't get in. Otherwise, it's just a dome of force. There's no actual like door to it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dorm or be cast through it, and the atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry, regardless of what setting you like the AC at.
Does it say it in the spell description?
No, it says regardless of the weather outside. But
I like that.
It's not
until
as
the
exciting.
spell ends, you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside, of any color you choose, but is transparent from the inside, so you can see through it. Outside people see a dome of some color.
Okay.
So you guys can just disappear into a giant green Smartie if you want.
So, essentially, they would know exactly where we are.
Yeah, it's not exactly subtle, but it does block spells and everything, so... You know, if you guys had, like, a bunch of lava was poured on you, it could be, like, you know, the only thing that would save you sort of thing. It lasts for 8 hours.
It's an oh shit button. We like to plan. I think it's a good call.
Edgar is so out of this at this point. Fuck that.
Planning, that never got anybody anything.
Right? No one's interested? Okay, never mind.
I'm sorry, Kaylee. It just seems like it's so minute.
What, a safe place?
No, like they know. Well, I'm assuming he would have told us about it, right? Would you have told us everything that
Yeah,
happened?
I would have told you about it.
Okay. So, but they can see where you are. It only lasts for 8 hours. So they have time, like Edgar said, they had time to dig a hole. So
And we have time for a long rest.
That is
Well,
true.
Look, if I can chime in against my better judgment here, I think the scenario you're putting forward, Kalik, is unrealistic. I also think that the benefits you're putting forward are realistic. So I don't know if jumping into a very visible dome in the middle of a bandit cap raid is a reasonable use for this. But that being said, you know, we were stuck in some pretty tight spots that could help us. So I don't know.
We were very fortunate in that bandit camp. If things went another way, we could have used something like this.
Maybe. Tidge,
I mean,
Mr. Party Leader.
I see the value in it. And it's not like if they were to dig a hole underneath us, I mean, it's transparent for us.
Mhm.
So it's not like the walls on the outside that they can see are the same as the inside. So as long as, unless they know exactly how far we could jump, we could get like a running start and hop out.
Well, look, I've always been straightforward with this. You guys, when it comes to magic and knowledge and history, you guys clearly have the advantage. What I can tell you as a military man is staying put in the middle of war is usually, it's a reinforced position, the worst idea that you can do, especially if you're facing superior odds. It allows them to encircle you, and no matter how much of a rest we have, no matter how gung-ho we come out of this thing, they will still have more of an advantage than possibly we had before. So in this particular scenario that we might never see, I don't see the application.
Let me present
if you're
another
telling me
scenario then.
any other scenario could work, and I'm not against paying the money. God knows we have plenty and we can make more, but I'm just saying as an oh shit button, as you so eloquently put it.
It's a safety net. That's all I'm.
All right, so
It is transparent
up-
from the inside, so if somebody is like making traps and stuff outside of you, you would see it if it's close by.
I guess the point Edgar's making is even if you can see it, they're still there.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you jump over, they can still barricade, they can still put up wooden shields, they can still bring in more reinforcement, they can get better weapons.
It doesn't have to be humans. It could be other threats.
we could be in the middle of a field or marching across a field that is swarming with either hellhounds or hyprex beasts, and we need to take, and it's coming upon night, and we don't really want to stay out in the middle.
You see,
This could
that's
be the way that we take a long rest.
a
Right.
scenario that I can get behind.
That makes sense.
It's more of a back pocket sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's a lot of money, but
Okay.
Then I'm on board. I mean, you presented something. It was just the scenario you put forward initially.
Sorry.
I just no. Look, we're all here just chatting, and it's money we're all sharing. So I think it's fair that Annabelle had some criticisms, and I shared those as well. But if you're saying that it's true, there could be some very hostile situations where we need to get some shut-eye. Otherwise, we're facing exhaustion and disadvantage. And if this thing can give us a rest without having to worry about peering over our shoulder, then so be it. For 130 gold, I'm okay with that.
What if you ended up in a field that was slowly killing you?
Hell no. Never again.
Hey, it worked so well, dude. That was
Never
the best,
again.
Best shortcut NA.
dude. I don't even get why we complain. Why you complain about that?
Yeah, I
He
was
almost
one
died.
exhaustion level away from
Did you
dying.
die? Did you die?
No.
Oh!
It's
The
the
voice
closest
of
I've come to.
head down kicks the dirt.
Motherfucker.
Right, so where do we get this scroll that
Tidge
you...
and I will go buy it.
I'm
Oh.
coming with you.
Did he become grumpy when you guys were friends back in Elos?
Did he yeah, when he doesn't get his way.
Ah, he's one of those. And I'll flash Kay like a smile.
I want to poke his cheek. He pouts like a little child.
I stand up,
Gaelic,
Look
let's
at-
go get that scroll.
I nod, and I just start walking.
Okay.
Oh, I'm coming with.
You guys get over towards that shop. It's getting later and later.
We gotta go
and,
to the bank.
What's
That's
that?
true.
Oh, the bank. Yes, yes. How much are you taking out of the bank? Because when you get there, the place is open, of course, and you have a $650 balance. So stand there in front of the teller. He gives you that look, pulling away his monocle, and you guys need to tell him how much you want.
Well, it's 130 for the scroll.
Oh, we could probably talk it down.
I can put 20 of my own in.
Do you want to have pocket cash on you?
I'll have a little on me.
Look, let's pull out 100. I could probably talk her down to 115, and we'll split the difference. Okay?
Fair enough.
That works for me.
Okay. Somebody update the bank. Put it at 550. At least I think
Done.
I think you were at
Yeah.
650 before. Yeah.
Unless it's been a day, which it hasn't.
And we're at 650 and 1 copper.
Did time skip? Did it skip like 6 years and we have a lot of money now?
Dude, the interest was so small, we'd probably have 651 gold after 6 years.
550 G. Okay. Let's go visit Ethel.
Okay. Ethel seems
I'll,
pleased when you guys step
I'll
through the
come.
door. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
What's that, Edgar?
No, it's all good. It's
Okay.
all good. Don't worry about it.
How are you all?
Excellent.
We're good. And
Have I been here before?
I don't think
No, I don't think you have.
I think they've only told us about this place.
Mhm.
Well, my friends were speaking highly of you and your scrolls, Edgar Lyle.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I do still have those. Let's see. What was there? Which ones were you looking for?
Fireball, Counterspell, and the Hut. But I think we'll just be picking up the Hut.
She turns around with 3 scrolls and goes, "Oh, okay," and puts one of them down there, and you can see the scroll from before. So, what did I quote that at for you? Was it 130?
Initially, yes.
Initially.
Yes.
Look, the reason he says initially is we have a meeting with a guard captain later. We've just secured. You must have heard of the bandits raiding the road between Oris Ren and Vossonix.
I've heard of them.
Well, we cleared the entire camp, and we have a meeting later about potential sponsorship. And,
Make
we
a
were-
persuasion roll.
Sure.
I want to see if this woman believes you.
Can I throw in like a channel divinity? Because we would have had a short rest.
Too late.
It's okay. My disco funk has been charging. It's okay. My persuasion is decent. 14.
She seems to believe you, and she kind of, is taken aback and says, "Wow, you guys did that, huh?"
Yeah. We're just happy to be of service to Oris Ren. You guys have been good to us. So we were wondering if you could possibly, as a sign of good faith and a continued partnership, see if we could get the scroll for, let's say, 100 gold.
She looks over at you, Tidge, and says, "You said you were just a simple adventurer. This is a lot more than I was expecting."
Well,
Tidge-
I'll be
Tidge
honest.
is-
Very modest.
He is humble, after all. That's right.
I don't
It's-
really like to brag.
The fucking Vietnam flashback. Just Tidge there, bodies flopping here.
Party 1 dead, party 2 dead, party 3 dead, party 4 dead.
Help!
Party 6 missing.
She pauses and says, "Okay, how about 100? But you have to do more business here. I don't want to see you gone for too long."
To be honest with you, I don't think I could keep Kalik and Tidge away from you for that long. And I'll flash her a smile.
She gives you a smile back. Well,
Any
how's
violence in
100
their
sound?
mouth.
Sounds incredible.
She kind of nudges the scroll towards you.
I guess
I've
I
just-
have the money, so.
I have to say, Ethel, we haven't even been to one of your competitors yet, but I don't think there'll be a need to.
Oh, you. Well, I could do a discount on some of these other ones. I don't think I could go as low, but could maybe bring them down to 110 if you wanted another scroll.
Another scroll, and I look to the other guys because I know almost nothing about prepared magic like this.
She kind of shakes one of the papers and says, "Fireball's definitely a favorite. Can always count on this. Trusty sidekick."
Are you a bigger fan of offense or defense?
Oh, are you asking me?
No, I'm asking the group.
Defense, obviously. for me.
Yeah, so
Would
based on the
would that counter scroll be more of a reaction?
Yes. You do have to be somewhat close to the caster. However, it is very effective, and if you're lucky, you can stop the spell entirely in its tracks.
Do you know, let's say, if your counter spell fails, does it consume the scroll?
Yes. So it is a bit of a gamble, but it will automatically stop anything from 3rd level or lower, so it's only the higher magics, really, that you have to worry about.
that's quite powerful. I'll be honest with you guys.
You know, guys, considering the manner of demon we faced in those mountains, and I'll kind of...
That's what I was thinking.
I'm not going to be whispering. I want to see, like, Ethel's reaction here. Could be of some use.
If we run into another one of the librarian's enemies.
How much for the counterspell?
Well, how's 105?
I think that's fair. Could you put it on hold? We're gonna have a meeting with Skylar. We just came from the bank, and I think we're pressed for time. But how late are you open tonight?
I was gonna close down in maybe an hour, maybe 2.
We could stop back in the morning.
Sure.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So we'll most likely be back in the morning for counterspell.
Well, that's great. She looks like she's kind of got like the cogs turning and everything there, and says, "Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. That's good."
And if this guard captain of ours were to mention something about a sponsorship deal, I'm not sure how it works for non-imperial citizens in Oris Ren, but it seems that we've impressed him enough to possibly consider it. How could we go about bringing this fine establishment into that conversation?
I don't know.
Oh, you've never sponsored a group of budding adventurers before?
She shakes her head and she says, "I guess I could come up with something."
Well, maybe ask around, see if anyone else has done it before. I imagine the imperial government or political body would help cover some of the costs because we would be aiding Oris Ren and the surrounding cities. So we're by no means asking for charity. I think it's more of a partnership between the guard and yourself. But let me get some more details, and maybe we can talk about it in the morning if it comes up.
She looks like she's holding back excitement, but gives you a very like sort of professional like, "Okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow then."
Playing it coy.
As we close the door, woohoo! From the back.
Don't you? So you guys get this scroll here, and you get a quote for 105 for that counterspell, which could be very useful given the weird stuff you've been through lately. And you all step outside. Now, as you do so, where are you headed to? It's probably about the time Skylar's going to start showing up at the bar. You would maybe have enough time to go to the bank before getting there.
I think we go straight to the bar, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to make Skylar wait.
Be early.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys get to the bar, and for like the 5th time today, pull in there. And
This was a different one, though, right?
Oh, I thought you guys gave
No.
him a location.
Yeah.
Oh, did we?
So you gave him this bar.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was gonna say one, and we were like, no, let's go to Rasters.
I'll stop Tidge too for a second. Tidge, this may seem a little gaudy for your taste, but keep the amulet out if you can. If he has the eye for a sovereign stone, he could see that we're real. You know, besides just the bandits themselves, that we're the real deal. Could help with I don't know, our negotiations.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Hey, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Back at the blacksmith shop, you said something about a vision of a scroll with a quill and an eye.
Yeah,
I mean, that's some pretty strong librarian iconography.
maybe it was more of an inspiration that I had and a vision as well. I've been meditating as of late, and praying, and before going to bed, I work on my oath as well. And it's something that came to me. I don't know. I don't know if it's librarian. I don't know if it's Metri. I don't know if it's both. But yeah, it is interesting now that you mention it.
Yeah, kind of caught me by surprise, I'll be honest. But
Who knows? Maybe maybe you've swayed me.
I could only hope. As long as you're not calling him a demon anymore.
Warlock multiclass.
Oh no. I mean, Metri will be always my first love, but I mean, if this guy is helping us get on a righteous path and helping me get on my own path, then hopefully he'll become a great friend.
I hope so. I think right now he's trying to push me to be a little more independent, but I still have tremendous faith.
I'll just
Glad to
like
see you come around.
a nod to Tidge.
Okay.
Let's
At
go
this
get
point-
hammered.
Oh God, please no.
You guys make it into the bar. The barmaid turns to you and goes, "You guys again." And you guys soon find your little spot there in the back of the room. And before long, you know, drinks and whatnot are starting to show up. And or sorry, maybe not drinks, maybe just food.
Yeah,
given how
I'm
you
just
guys have been.
packing the calories.
Yeah, God, Edgar, you probably had over the course of today something like a 12-pack and like 6 shots or something. You know, like it's maybe it's time to pause.
Like a proper frat boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now the door's open and you guys see the guard captain step in. Though it's a bit weird to see him because he's kind of, you know, he's off duty and he's not wearing any of the clothes you normally see. He kind of carries himself a little differently as he gets up to your table and sits down with you. He says, "Oh, long day, long day. How have you all been?
Productive.
A good
That's
day,
good.
for sure.
You guys start without me."
Oh, we've
We've been
Oh,
working for a while.
let's just say we're tapering off at this point. But hey, we can start up again for sure.
He gives you a smile and turns, and you see him wave over the barmaid, and he buys himself a pint. He turns back, says, "Well, that's good. So this story, then, I'm dying to hear it."
Well, you're gonna need another beer. You're gonna hear this story. Can you get another one?
She starts to grab some more, and he just starts to sort of small talk with you guys, and he says, "So how long you guys been in the area for? You just coming through recently, or been in Aurelium for a while?"
I'll look
What?
at Tidge.
I mean, I'm a native. I was born here.
Yeah, we've actually ventured down from Elos, believe it or not.
Elos. God. Never been out there, actually. Heard of it. Interesting place, apparently.
No. You can pretty much avoid it for your life and be okay.
I squint at Edgar.
I heard the temples are nice.
That they are.
They are. That's true.
Well, never been too much of a holy man myself. The second beer shows up, and, you know, he's not even halfway through his first one. And, says, "So, you said something about wanting to get a hold of a deal with the guard."
Yeah, well, look. You know what? Before we get into the business talk, let's go over what we did, because it seemed like you were pretty interested about the story.
I am, but it seemed like you didn't think I could handle it on a single
Oh.
pint here.
Oh, they'll keep coming, don't worry. Guys, feel free to chip in if I miss anything here, but So we're walking down from Oris Ren to Bostonix, and we hear about these bandits. We see the bounty out for them, and lo
I
and
slap
behold,
down the paper with the bounty.
for dramatic effect, there you go. And
He nods at it and smiles.
if I'm not mistaken, guys, we got to Bostonix unharmed, right?
Yeah.
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 It was on our way back that
It was on the
those
return voyage.
those bastards laid an ambush in a cart at a crossroads. So they spring up on us, and those poor guys had no idea what they were facing. And a lot of them we found, surprisingly, weren't cutthroat bandits. I don't know if the area's been harsh lately, and of course that's no excuse for crime, but a lot of them were just scared people looking for an easy way out. So we managed to scare some good sense into a few of them, dispatch the rest, get some information, and start concocting this plan. What was it, guys? We headed through the forest, right?
Yes.
Up towards the mine.
So what
With
were
this
their total numbers?
Initially or total, including at the mine?
Oh, the whole lot of them. I mean, we got interrogations, but they weren't exact.
What was it? 30? 40?
I mean, with the
My number's
When we
probably
got there,
closer to the first one.
30
Yeah.
to 40.
Yeah, I mean, we came in there posing as bandits from a rival group. Kalik here has a sharp mind, and he managed to pick one of the other bandits that were on the bounty board. So we went in there posing as negotiators, looking for some help. He said there were sovereign stones coming down the path. And they didn't buy it for 2 seconds, even with Annabelle's charm over here.
You
They
think they
wanted
buy
the-
that? A prize like that?
Right,
It's a small
exactly.
fortune.
Well, they didn't buy it, unfortunately. They
We
asked
went
for
too
the
high.
leader.
That's probably it. Should have gone for like a small gold bar or something. They'd probably believe it.
Exactly. Long story short, we tell them we'll meet tomorrow with the leader. We had this crazy idea in mind.
You
Let's
won't
not get
believe
it.
it. Actually, why not tell him?
Sure.
It's been
Have you-
crazy.
So you talked to the leader then?
Yes.
What was
yes,
that
we did.
bastard like?
Oof, a bastard. I mean, yeah, we didn't even get his name. Everyone seemed pretty afraid of him. He didn't give us the time of day for sure. Tiefling, though, cutthroat guy, for sure.
Huh. Well, that's too bad. I mean, at least in the Empire, they're willing to give you lot an equal chance. And he kind of gives a nod to the two tieflings across the table. He says, but, you know, it's folks like him. It's the reason they're hated across the world. At least we can end his story right there.
Yeah. Well, initially, we wanted to end a story in a bizarre thing. Have you heard of puzzle boxes before?
Oh, interesting. He shakes his head. Can't say I have.
Look, they're more in myth than anything. You want to fill them in, Kalik, on what those are?
They are doorways, essentially, to other. It's like a little dimension inside of a box. Once you get a hold of a puzzle box, you're transfixed, and you need to solve it. And once you solve it, you disappear and go into the box for a short amount of time.
So you guys bought some sort of weird trap.
Well, we didn't know what it was initially, but once we got sucked into it ourselves, when we managed to get out, we knew that this was an idea worth pursuing. The idea was, Tidge over here, this little guy might not look it, but he can go invisible. Put the box in the guy's hand, guy solves it, we have the boss out of the mix, we intimidate the half that are squeamish, the other half we dispatch, problem solved. Fortunately, what Kalik didn't mention is those little fucking boxes have a mind of their own, and poof, the morning of the meeting, it's gone. We're there with a commitment, we're screwed, and, well, let's just say, our great idea just kind of disappeared right in front of our eyes.
So your plan was all messed up. What do you go with next?
But we're good on our feet.
Hardcore improvisation.
So,
He's getting into his second beer.
so Annabelle and I go down there, try to lay the charm on thick. He's buying what Annie's selling. Me, he thinks I'm full of shit.
I
let's
just bat my eyelashes, rest my chin on my laced fingers.
let's just say I don't pose too much as a brigand, considering I'm a man of faith. So, Tidge here, one of the other trinkets we've acquired in our travels was a black ichor that could murder a man if he sipped it, even just a little bit. And Tidge's idea, again, I don't even know if I would have the stones to do it, was to infiltrate the camp invisible, get in there, poison the drink, and decapitate the leadership. What we didn't plan for was us getting captured while he was in there, and me getting gagged.
His tail's getting pretty tall. I might need a third.
And I'll wave the bartender away. So, if I'm not mistaken, Kalik, you were waiting out there, and Aurilla was puking his brains out while all of this was happening, right?
Yep, I was babysitting.
So the biggest weapon in our arsenal, giant Goliath over here, is puking his brains out from, I guess, poisoning. He maybe picked the wrong berry. Some outlander he is. I'm bound and gagged. Annie over here is trying to talk her way out of it unsuccessfully. And we have Tidge, our ace in the hole, right in that room. Tidge, take it from here, man. Because even if me saying it, I don't think you'll believe this part.
All right. Well, so, I mean, the plan was obviously to poison, like to cut off the head of the snake, and hopefully the rest of the body will wither. You know how the saying goes.
He turns serious while you're doing this. You're only like a sentence in, and he kind of leans over the table and he says, "You didn't acquire that poison illegally, did you? They're highly controlled within the Empire."
I didn't acquire it at all.
And that would be me, sir. No, not illegally. We don't deal with brigands ourselves. This was actually
Jeez, mate, I'm just fucking with you.
Look, I'm a man of faith. You put my conviction on the line, and you got me.
He smiles and he kind of like, tips his cup and he goes, "Well, I wasn't always a guardsman."
You're a hard man to read.
So, so you're in the room.
All right, so like I can't just wait in here for him to go to sleep and just try and pour it down his mouth, gullet or whatever. Like, so the only thing that I can think of is he's got this cup, a mug sitting on his desk, and so I just go for broke. I empty it into the mug and just hope that he just out of force of habit or whatever just downs it. But
there's nothing in it at
no,
all.
Not when I started. It was empty.
Fuck! What an idiot.
Wait, trust me, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I mean,
you'll see the stupidity keeps on going.
I had no faith in this plan, so I just had to stay and make sure that something happened. And so I hide behind this stack of barrels and crates that he's got in the back corner of his little sanctum, I guess, and just wait. And he comes in with a couple of his guards, and he's talking. He doesn't believe a thing that Annie and Edgar have put in front of him.
Right.
And so he grabs his mug. He's like, "Well, we'll just kill these guys," and he heads over to this cask of ale or wine or whatever, I don't really know. And he looks in his mug, and I'm like, "Fuck." And then he just shrugs and downs it.
Really? Just right there.
He just look, I'm telling you right now, I'm still as surprised as you are. So he just fucking did it.
And you said it was some sort of like it was a black poison.
He
Dark
Like-
as night. Couldn't see through it.
What the fuck was he drinking then?
I don't know. Like
Like
I
he
said,
was-
I didn't look in the cask.
Probably
He just-
fetching himself a cup of tar or something.
Must be. I don't know what the. I like I said, he was a pretty closed book, so I don't really know much about him.
The
but,
worst part is it gets better.
Jeez. So is
So-
it like a slow thing? Like how does he find you?
No, it was like that. He coughs
Poof, just over.
and he just like blood starts pouring out of. He like
Yeesh.
vomits blood all over the place, and then his guards start talking. One of them pipes up. He's like, "You couldn't wait." Starts throwing accusations around, accusing the other guy.
Typical.
Like,
Typical.
like
That-
I said, and then utter chaos
Everything
breaks
from
out.
your story is complete and other shit, but that happens. That happens all the time. I get that all the time.
So and then so they start. The one guy lays into the other. He's like, "You fucking killed him, you dick." And then this guy, they start fighting, and then all of a sudden, the whole fucking camp starts fighting.
That's beautiful. The
Yeah,
whole
that's-
lot of them.
Annie and I still
It's-
tied up outside, by the way. Big guy still
Jeez.
puking by the tree, way outside of camp.
Right, and then Edgar gets all crazy and totally takes this guy out. He runs at him. He's still tied up, mind you. He runs at him and throws his shoulder into his gut, and the guy goes flying like 5 feet. It's ridiculous. And he comes in because he's tied up, so he thinks he could have like a cheap shot, I suppose. He comes in and Edgar just fucks him up again. It's crazy. These people, I just don't understand.
He's at this point the captain's cackling and like going through his third beer.
He didn't even finish the third swig, he just ran away, tail tucked between his legs.
And you were still tied up.
I was still tied up. I
Jeez.
gagged it off.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. So after that, pure pandemonium. I'm not even gonna let Tidge finish because I gotta tell you what happens. We don't even know what's going on. I put the camp to sleep, right? I'm a paladin of Metri. I don't like seeing carnage. I put those fuckers. They take dirt naps, and
Some
I'm
magic,
wondering.
yeah.
That's right, and I'm worried about Tidge. I mean, this guy is behind enemy lines. Could be dead. He's small. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I run down the hall and I see a door adjacent with dismembered body parts, a neck with a head that seemingly disappeared, and blood up to your ankles, and Tidge unscathed on the inside, looking at me with a chest full of gold right next to him and a big grin on his goddamn face. They just kept going in and killing themselves, and Tidge helped them out while they came in as well. I mean, at the end of the day, we tied up the rest, made them walk the rest of the bodies back, and where it got really interesting is I kind of gave them a pep talk, and those squeamish ones, and I get serious here, the guys who took the easy way out, they decided, hey, you took an easy way out when life, let's not do it in death. And suffice it to say, somehow I got through to them, and they didn't skimp when it was their final hours. They knew it was. Go
I
ahead.
saw them come into town, and it was the weirdest thing. Yeah, they walked in, they confessed for their crimes, They mentioned to, put the carriage aside and everything, and they just said it like it was, and, that was that.
Yeah. I mean, they knew whatever hours they had left, we had granted them. They got right with whoever their gods were.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's the end of that story.
Damn. Well, I have to say, it's good to hear a story like that, and in the guard, if you are facing odds like that, there's a battle plan, and sure, you got more resources, but you don't really get to do anything crazy like that. Doesn't exactly make for a good story to just tactically pull them apart with guards.
No, and we were getting tactical in the beginning, but that fucking puzzle box.
There was an art to that. So did you ever find the thing? Like,
No.
did you drop it in the woods?
No. We hear stories. These things move on their own. It's weird. They're boxes, but they.
Oh, like it
they have-
vanished.
yeah, they have a sentience to them.
Huh.
It wasn't just lost.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've heard of strange items, like even swords that can talk and stuff. So I guess it's not that out of the loop, but you know.
Well, yeah. If swords could bring us to the place that we went inside that box, I wouldn't get even near that sword.
So you went
Freaky.
inside.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's a trap, right? Like a pit with spikes or something.
Oh no. We became mice. And
He looks like he's just gone from like, yeah, I'm following you to like, what? Excuse me?
You've
yeah,
had enough to believe us.
look, I mean, at this point, I can't even make this up. We became literally mice along a crossbeam, and I point up towards one of the crossbeams on the bar, just like that one up there, looking down into a room, and on the other side, a kitchen or a pantry. And this girl was saying, "Where's the box? Where's the box?"
She's
She was
frantically
scared.
looking for it.
Is terrified, and we hear someone coming down. I myself, as a mouse, I'm freaking out. I have no idea. I can't get my bearings. I'm panicking. And I think it was Tidge. I can't really identify one mouse from the other, but one of them started pushing a similar puzzle box that was tiny on the beam over the beam. And it dropped just last minute into that room. The little girl saw it, solved it, and then we got brought back into this very bar. At this table right here is where we solved the puzzle box initially. Trust me, you see one of those things, don't touch it. You don't even have control over it. You're just compelled to solve it.
That's some weird fairy tale stuff. I don't think I'm.
You don't
Up
have
to
to
that.
buy what I'm selling, but
Yeah.
trust me, it's not something I want to go down again. But anyway, so that's that, and I mean, we're gonna be in the area for a little while, and as you can see, we're resourceful with or without the equipment.
Well,
But-
hey, I gotta hand it to you. That gang was getting out of hand, and not only did you take care of them, but the way you did was, well, you don't get paid extra for it, but it was the most peculiar thing I've seen during my time as a guard. So my hat's off to you. You know, the reward money isn't as much as it should have been for something like that.
Hey, we saw. Remember, guys, the carriage where they issued their ambush. We saw the belongings in those camps. I mean, I don't know how many people they've killed in cold blood. So, reward money or no, we
I
did
have
the right
estimates, and they're not great.
thing. Jesus,
Probably about 60 or 80 people went missing on that trail.
by metric, that's
Don't know. They could still be alive. Maybe they ran off and made it into town, but just there's definitely quite a few unaccounted for. So you did good.
well. Look, we know that there are other bounties out there. We know there are other, even smaller gangs out there. And to get back to business, I mean, we're still jovial here, but if there's a way
It's a good
for
story.
you to help us source some equipment, some better resources, whether it's free transportation within the empire or
Hmm.
specialized pricing.
Okay,
for
so-
equipment.
I'll stop you right there.
Sure.
The way it is, that does exist, but unless one of you is in the military or in the guard, you're not going to get any additional help.
Hmm.
And if you do, I'd put in a word for you. There'd be a good chance we could find something. But if you're not in one of those two groups, then the Empire's not going to take you on. Now, what I
Just,
can say is that I have access to basically any of the wanted posters that are going to go out before they do. And if you guys wanted to find out about some that aren't going to be posted publicly, I could do that for you. But that's all I can swing. If you're looking for gear from the guard or anything, you need to be, at least one of you in your group needs to sign for you and join the military or the guard.
What about a private contractor? An
How so?
independent.
Well, for instance, maybe elaborating on Kalik's idea, and Kalik, interrupt me if I'm wrong here, but what if we become a requisitioned party by the guard?
Well, that's how it would be, but unless there has to be at least one of you which is in the group, otherwise they won't do it.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I was, and technically still am, a general of the ground forces of the Lyles out of Soulsland in the north. I know a thing or two about warfare. But
I have
we are
no... Forgive me for stepping in there, but I have no doubts, especially with that story and everything
Sure.
else, that you would qualify easily for either of those positions. Personally, I'd put in a recommendation for you to get into the military. I think you could do great work on the front lines, but if you have any sort of qualifications from outside of the Empire, the consulate's not going to care.
And what kind of obligations would there be? Because we're going to be, I'll be honest with you, we do have an overarching obligation. One of an even crazier story that we won't get into, but it does require some traveling, both within and outside of the Empire, potentially. So, look, you guys are principled, you're men of your word, and everything that I've been taught and that I personally believe, all of my convictions of Metri in line, to my knowledge, with the Imperium. So you may not be religious, but you're men of contracts and words, and both of those are some of my highest priorities. So I don't mind if it'll help the party enrolling. But if you're telling me that I have to do grunt work on the front lines every week or something like that, I mean, keep in mind, I'm a great soul. We also lost I don't know how much time. And I don't want your recommendation to be sullied if I can't show up to a certain obligation. So tell me, I mean, what does it entail?
I think, given your story, which has become famous in some circles, I don't think it would be difficult to secure this position for you. We can probably work out something honorary. Chances are, see, if you're the Great Soul thing makes it rather difficult. They will want you to do some training at the very least, and probably have trouble putting you into any normal formations. I can see what's available. I can send it in and put in your request and find if there's anything that they can do.
Look, if you want me to be, whether it's someone officially part of the military that serves in functions of solving bounties for the Imperium, so common citizens don't get the bounty gold, and we're given a stipend and some benefits, I'm on board. I won't have to do guard formations. You guys have the benefit of saving some gold and extending benefits that you already extend to people of the guard to us.
Okay, so I'll put this in, and I'll include that you're a general with the Lyles, which may help. But what are you looking to get out of this in the end? Because we can provide you with equipment if you need ammunition and arrows, if you're looking for some basic armor, but you're not going to get anything too fancy, right? We make do with what we have.
Oh, yeah, I don't think, and I'll look to the rest of the group, we've been, there's kind of a joke running around our group in terms of our financial situation, and it's only recently turned around. So, look, we're not looking for anything extravagant, not even necessarily if we were to enroll today, to get anything out of it immediately. I mean, if we were to come into town and I were to ask you for an odd bounty that you have and maybe a replacement shield, some equipment like some arrows or some black powder munitions for my friend Kalik here, and we're out again,
we could do that.
Then I think we could come to an agreement. And if it requires us paying some coin out of pocket to get some more premium items at a discount, courtesy of the government, then we're more than happy paying our fair share, as long as we come to an agreement and that it's fair for both parties.
I think that could work. I'll write up a report. I'll get all of your names. We already have those on file. And see what we can do. Worst case scenario, I think they might want you to do one more job just to prove everything. And after that, everything should be... He stops suddenly and kind of like looks over his shoulder. And you guys feel it too. And you all feel like you're being watched.
Is it the same things again?
An eerie
Like out the
feeling of
window?
scrying?
Oh, make a perception check.
For the window or the scrying?
For the... Well, just looking around anywhere really would be the same thing.
Oh, okay. So I guess we're all rolling.
Sure.
Yeah, no.
Nat 1.
Not 20? What's going on? The
Billy, stop
charging.
it! The charging's
The
strong.
charging.
18.
Okay.
18 as well.
With the exception of Tidge, who's having trouble looking over the table as he kind of is coming down from his drunken haze during the day here. The rest of you get a really good solid look around and see nothing. And same with you, Edgar. You know, you're coming out of your drunken haze and you have the eyes of the hawk and you're staring out the window. You see nothing there. You even recognize like familiar faces and those that haven't been in the bar, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary. But yet you feel it, all of you, like you're being watched. The guard turns towards you, and Skylar speaks up and he says, sorry.
Skylar, we've had this happen before. Keep your eyes sharp, but this isn't anything natural. Guys, Kalik, Tidge, do you have any idea what it could be? You guys zoned in on the crystal ball last time.
Currently all tapped out.
You see Skylar begins to write something on a piece of paper, and then he hands it over to you, Edgar.
I'll
And
read
as
it.
he does so, he kind of stands up and he says, "All right, I'll be right back."
Absolutely.
And he walks out of the shop.
I'll try to relax back into my seat as I look to the rest. I'm going to try to not be as tense as I can.
Sure. Even as he leaves, you continue to feel like you're being watched. Do you
Can
guys
I
sit there quietly
over-
at the table?
No, I'd like to throw out my paladin feature, Divine Sense. Celestials, fiends, undead, consecrated, desecrated within 60 feet.
Sorry. You don't feel anything when you summon this up.
It's nothing nearby, guys. It's got to be a scry again.
Hang on.
More than likely.
I'm gonna take a few steps away, like over to here.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna go, like, still within eyesight, or, like, within eye shot of everybody. I want to get a fair distance away. And then, let's see. I think message is pretty far. Far enough away that I can cast message, but it still would seem like I'm far enough away that if somebody's scrying on us, then I would be... Like, if there's a focal point, I want to see if it's focused on me or something like that.
Interesting.
And then I'll just send a message, I guess, to Edgar. I'll be like, do you still feel it?
As Tidge mentions this, you don't feel it. And at some point, halfway across the room, you guys all kind of lose this feeling. You know, the hair standing up on your neck finally relaxes and whatnot. Tidge, the feeling remains with you as you wander over to the other side of the room.
I'll respond. It left when you left.
It's on me.
Now
The
this
scrying.
This
on me.
lasts for a bit as you're standing over there, and a couple of people on the tables kind of look at you. Your, face betrays some of the, complicated emotions you have going on. And then it sort of leaves you here, and you notice something. The different tables here, they seem to feel it too. and a couple of people kind of like look around like there's something going on, and then gradually the feeling leaves you and it returns to the rest of you at the table.
Is message still up?
Yeah, you can message back and forth.
Back to us.
Did it seem like any person like approach us during that time?
Oh. No, you guys have been at this table. Other than the barmaid that brings you drinks, nobody's really come up to you. You know, you see somebody walk past every now and then to go to the restroom, but that's it.
I'll look to Kalik. So, Kalik, what do we do from here? Like feigning just being casual, but obviously being a little nervous here.
I'll message. What was on the paper?
I'll
Oh, what was on the paper?
I'll slide the paper over to Edgar. I'm not sure. You tell me.
Can I read it?
Sure. It says, scrying, being watched, splitting up.
I'll respond to via message to Jesus Christ. Tidge, thank you. And just respond the exact same thing verbatim, and
Okay.
just say this was what the guard wrote. And I'll crumple up the paper and put it into my breastplate.
Sure.
Kalik. When you have a drink, how long does it last usually, the effect?
Me?
And I narrow my eyes come on, take the fucking hint.
A drink, you say?
Yeah, there's a
Think.
buzz feeling that you have, right? How long? I mean, mine personally obviously lasted all day, but yours, talking hours? We talking longer?
Mm,
The feeling leaves you, and your table is no longer getting this strange sensation.
I'll message Tidge. Is it back on you? Left us.
Tidge, you don't feel it.
I'll go back.
Sure.
No, it's gone.
typically, if I remember correctly, it's up to 10 minutes.
Can it pull any type of information, or is it only what it can see? Can it read our thoughts?
You can see in here.
Is that it? Where did the guard go? Did he go into the back rooms or outside?
He stepped outside.
I'm gonna go see if I can, cause I feel like Table Talk, this scrying might be trying to get us to split up. I don't know how this creature that's scrying us, whatever it is, can expect to get anything from us if we can detect when it happens. So maybe it tries to force us to split up. So I'm gonna go make sure the guard's okay.
As you get up from your table, you actually see the main doors open, and Skylar comes back in, and he's kind of got shifty eyes about him, like he's looking back and forth at different people as he comes up to your table.
I'll sit back down.
Did it follow you?
What's that?
Did it follow you
No.
when you left?
Nope. I was kind of hoping it would. Something is going on here.
Now you can see why we need resources.
What? Why is somebody watching you? I don't see any of the bad faces here in the bar.
No,
These are just common folk.
it's happened to us in different locations. And it's not, it's magical means from a distance, Kalik and Tidge think.
They brief us on how the scrying works.
We need a precaution to prevent something like this from happening. Ethel, she owns a store down the way. She has these necklaces that prevent scrying. However, they're a bit out of our price range. We need to find a way to get our hands on a couple of those.
Well, I'll put in that request, like I said, though this is worrisome. Keep
Yeah.
in mind, if you're going to be working for the government, the last thing that anybody's going to want is to hear that you're also being watched by somebody. Do you know who it is? Do you know, is it just been happening, or do you have any suspects?
We have a suspect, and not by name or face, or we don't even know what he or she looks like, but my
I'll
friend,
describe what I saw.
Ah, okay. He says, well, probably someone from the desert, but I can't... It's not enough to go on.
we have a rune and a lead up north in the desert, oddly enough, from well, let's just say a shady but reliable contact. They told us to investigate it, and if I have parchment, I bought the stock priest backpack, so I have parchment and writing supplies,
Sure.
and I'll jot down the rune and slide it over. Probably means nothing to you, but this is the one lead we have. I don't know if you have any. Again, magic is unknown in the Imperium, but I'm assuming the government has people that they can rely on for information.
There are some people. They're just not very common. It's never really been a tradition here. I've certainly never seen this, though. This is... You could tell me
It's
this
ancient.
was Dwarven, I would believe you.
Yeah, well, if you can pass that up the pipe and see what comes down. Again, I understand your concern, and if you want to delay me being a part of the government or the guard, I understand. But
He nods and kind of like folds up the paper. I'll see if somebody knows. Maybe there's something.
Perhaps, even just as a consultant, Edgar may have some useful information for you in the future.
oh, yeah, you mean for training and for maneuvers, sure. Yeah, well, look, he's right. I could definitely be of some use, and we are available. This does throw a bit of a wrench into things, but let me know if there is still an offer on the table. Any way I can help this party here, I owe them my life, and they've given me a path in life as well, so
Are you staying here at this tavern?
I don't think this tavern is a good idea anymore. Do you have an inn to recommend somewhere else?
Yeah, well, there's a few places in town. Look, you guys pick somewhere, and I can come and fetch you when I find something.
Sure.
You know, if it pans out, if it doesn't, I'll let you know. This is... I don't know if
Yeah.
it's going to go through. I really don't, but I can hope.
Well, we already have a lead, so if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. We were just hoping that, like you said, if the person that Kalik saw is from the desert and our lead leads us to the desert, we don't want to be walking into a trap. So any information you can give us on that location or that rune would be of great help.
Well, look, it's been a good night. That was the best story I've heard in years, and you've been great folk to have a drink with. I don't know if this business thing will pan out, but otherwise it's been a pleasant evening, aside from whatever strange thing is watching you. I think I'm going to turn in for the night. I'll pass this symbol up the line, see if anybody knows, and you stay at this inn down the road, and I'll let you know if anything comes up, okay? If you get
Sure.
impatient, you know where to find me.
Absolutely.
Hey, it was a pleasure. Edgar, thank you.
I'll shake his hand.
Yeah, he shakes all of your hands and thanks you all personally, and gets up to leave the table.
Fucker just had to cry right then and there, eh?
Being watched.
I mean, we did get some information out of it. I mean, we had no idea where. I mean, it's not guaranteed that this mage is from the desert, but
No, and I think Skylar was very open about, guessing when it came to the rune as well. So, but it does fall in line with what Jem said, right? So, think it is credible to a certain degree. Look, I'm unarmed right now. I mean, I have some javelins that I very rarely use, but I think we should go to a safe space, maybe turn in the morning. I'll go pick up my sword, and we'll see if Skylar has any news.
Is that the plan?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. You head to the tavern of a man by the name of Boris. And Boris's tavern down the road there charges you 2 silver each for a room, so you can subtract that.
2 silver.
Yeah. And you guys, are you just turning in for the night here?
Wait, just one room or one room each, you said?
I assumed you'd get your own rooms, but if you want to pile onto one, you could.
I don't know. Not about saving that money.
So I've got to say, Annie, first you're afraid of, getting close in the hut, magical hut, and now you want to get the same room?
No, I didn't say I was scared of getting close in the hut. See, I'm skeptical of the idea of some random hut that we can only use once. I don't mind the close proximity. It's warmer that way, especially if it's cold.
Well, I'm gonna get my own room if you got have some things to mull over, and Metri tends to not come forward when I'm surrounded by other people. But bid you guys a good night, and we'll speak in the morning.
At 8.
And by the way, if I'm not there in the morning, I've just gone to the blacksmith. I'll probably be back.
Okay. You guys turn in for the evening. Go into your own little rooms there. You eventually tuck in for the night. And...
Well, I don't know if they got the same room, but
I would have gotten my own room.
maybe Kalik and Annie together?
Well, that's your call. Somebody should say something so you can subtract some silver, but
I
anyway.
I would buy my own room, but like being creeped out about the whole scrying thing, I'd sneak over.
You can bunk up with me.
Aw. Oh yeah, that'd be safe as fuck.
Extra safe.
Oh, so we're getting 2 rooms or what? That doesn't make any sense.
He said he would pay for his own room initially, then get creeped out and go into yours.
Oh, okay.
So,
Should have
we
got
both-
the queen.
you guys...
Basically, one room, but you pay for 2. It's just genius.
Yeah, that's great. That saves so much money.
I love how cheap you are.
You guys turn in for the evening, and I'd like somebody to make a luck roll, please.
Oh. Annie.
Oh shit, that's me. Hang on, I gotta take it off the charge.
Annie, are you okay? Oh my goodness, there's a charger now. You can't...
If I angle it just right, it looks like your elf has a penis.
Okay, 2. Yeah, I'm not a fan of
Oh my god! Come on!
this. You keep your charge right over
You
there.
charged it for 10 seconds. It's gotta be
No, I
longer.
didn't, you fuck.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to put it on there. It doesn't work. You do it.
You gotta use the shadow.
You're
Tidge,
the master. Well, I mean, I did make a tower.
Tidge, you wake up in the morning to something bumping up against you in the bed. And as you look over in your groggy state, you see what looks like a burly, hairy arm that has made its way over your chest, and you are pulled in towards some strange sleeping man.
What the fuck? I will immediately try and get out of that.
Oh my god!
I'd like you to make a... Well, are you trying to do it subtly, or are you just gonna, like, freak out and leap out of the
No,
bed?
I'm gonna be freaked the fuck out.
Okay.
Oh, it's probably a drunk dude
Make
who
an
walked
athletics
in
check.
the wrong room.
Wait, so this
Hey,
is
Adorable.
so we came across 2 Edgars or what?
That is a 9.
You manage to get out of this person's grip, but in doing so, kind of like stumble here through the blankets and fall down to the ground. And you see some guy there who's just basically there in his underwear, and he looks all surprised. And he looks over and goes, "What the fuck are you doing in here?"
What the fuck are you doing in here? This is my room.
"I rented this room last night."
No. The fuck you did? This is my room.
Now you guys hear this, and as you guys wake up here, let's see. Kalik and Annabelle, who's sleeping on the ground? Who's in the bed? Because it's just like a single. It's like a single bed thing.
If you snuggle, 2 people can fit in a single bed.
It's true. Okay, so the two of you guys wake up from hearing this commotion, and you hear Kalik, you know, kind of like wake up next to you there, and Kalik, you hear Annabelle, and then you both hear a third person, and
We skipped time. We skipped time, guys.
some
time.
female voice goes like, "What's that?" And then she just like instantly pulls the covers towards her, like right off of the both of you, and just screeches. And you guys hear this terrifying screech from down the hallway. Edgar, you wake up, and Arillo, you wake up, and you have no idea what all the yelling's about.
I'll walk down the hall. Everything all right in there?
No, there's someone in my fucking room.
Who are you?
Morning, Edgar.
How the hell did you
What's
get in
going
here?
on?
He says, I told you, I rented it last night. And
How could you rent this? I rented it last night.
This is our room.
the girl turns to you and says, "Look, if you go now, I won't call the guards."
What do you mean? If you go now, we won't call the guards.
Can I hold up the key? I have a key. What are you talking about?
What? So you stole it?
I didn't steal no key.
She said last night that the key went missing. And here you are with it.
Missing in the room that I rented? How is that possible?
She just like, all huff and puff, just turns, leaves, and goes down the hallway. You guys see some chick here, who's fairly indecent, yeah, but she's got like the blanket wrapped around her, and like a ghost, you know, kind of goes down the hallway.
Decent. Ooh.
I better get to the barkeep or the innkeeper, whatever the fuck is in this place before she does, and I'll run out.
What is going on, guys?
Don't
You guys
forget
get the
key,
wrong
Kaylee.
room?
No,
I looked to
rented
Arillo.
this
They got
room.
the wrong room. My god.
Yep.
Over
Well,
here in this
We're
room,
going back to bed.
the
Buddy, I don't know if I like left the door unlocked or whatever, but you need to get out of here.
I'd like you to go ahead and make for me a persuasion or intimidation roll. Your choice.
Intimidation.
Hands on his hips, all of 3 foot tall.
I think that's 13. Yeah.
Well, I only wanted the room for one night anyway, so fuck you. And he just like grabs his
you.
coat and turns and leaves.
You don't know the shit I've done.
Worst tavern I've ever been to. Boris is gonna hear about this.
Get the fuck out.
I will. I don't even want this room anymore.
Good.
He's like yelling from
shit.
down the hall as he keeps going. Kalik, when you go down the hallway, you eventually get into the main room to see this woman with the blanket about her talking to the barkeep. And when you come around the corner, he looks at you and he just looks completely surprised.
Boris, are you renting out the same room to multiple people?
Aren't you that? You? No. Nope.
What's going on?
You rented this room. I don't even remember how far back that was. What are you doing here?
What are you talking about? We rented it just last night.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, I rented that room to these fine folks just a couple of evenings ago, and you were here like 10, 20, I don't know, it was a fucking long time ago.
Wait, what?
Kalik, what's going on?
Oh, I look at the innkeep. I look at Edgar. I point to the back of my neck.
The innkeep looks to the woman. I'm very sorry. We can don't worry about the pay for this evening, and she looks like she's still really mad. And he goes, the rest of your stay,
Sir.
it's on the house.
Sir,
Mhm.
there's an explanation. And I just start walking up, and I
Are
kind
we
of
not
motion for
supposed
Edgar.
to tell people about this?
We can.
You can, but that has its own consequences.
We may not look it, but we're great souls. we're blessed or cursed with we sometimes jump.
Fucking prove it.
I point to the back of my neck. Can't really forge that now, can you?
Christ, gods above. Okay, it's all a simple mix-up. Well, look, if you two still want the rooms, Here. He gives you 2 silver, Kalik. And, as he hands you the 2 silver, you see what looks like a very grumpy man storming down the hallway. And he says, Boris, I have something to talk to you about. And he immediately looks over and he says, look, your night's free, just shut up, okay? And, he kind of, like, walks up and, Boris hands out a few coins to a bunch of different people. And, you get reimbursed. And this woman seems to get some sort of agreement. She storms back up to the room there. And the other guy goes just, like, right out the door, and everything seems to be settled, though nobody seems to be happy.
I'm sorry, Boris. I can't accept this. We paid for the room. I'm not gonna take a refund.
We paid for 2 rooms, actually, and Kalik came to sneak into mine because he is a wee baby.
That doesn't matter to him. He doesn't care.
Like a
We
baby.
inconvenienced you. Sorry.
Okay. Just... He looks like he wants to say something, but he doesn't know what to say, and he just takes the 2 coins. And you see he goes and pours himself a mug of ale.
What day is it?
51st.
Of which season?
Summer.
How long has it been, Caleb?
Well, looking through my notes. Jesus, has it been 40 days? More or less. It's the last thing in my notes I have was the 6th. 6th.
That's what I had. Just don't remember where.
46 days.
Well, shit.
Or... Sorry, I said 51st, so my math is off by 1. But yeah.
46, 47, 45.
Skylar might be worried at this point. Look, I'm gonna go pick up my sword. You guys take care of this. Shall we meet at just the guard post?
Pick up your sword.
Our
Hopefully it's still there, Edgar.
Yeah.
caravan, our cart or whatever, probably might have been auctioned off or something.
Skylar might. He knew that was the cart. I'll meet you at the guard post, okay? I'm
Okay.
just gonna walk out, and I'm gonna be hustling, like half sprint
Sure.
or half jog, going to the blacksmith.
Okay.
Well, I gotta go put my armor on, so...
When you pop in, he seems like... Oh! There's a face I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I've been without a sword for a long time. Something crazy happened.
Hey, it
Do you
happens.
still have the order? Do you still have the order?
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't lose something like that. Here, take a look at
I
it.
slide the paper over. And how's the quality look?
It actually looks really good. There's a sort of rustic quality to it. It's not like if a jeweler were to make it, but it looks really nice.
Gotta say, I'm really impressed with this. Thank you for the fine work.
Hey, no problem.
Hey, I'd stick around and revel in your craftsmanship a bit longer, but like I said, things are a bit crazy on my end, so I'll let you go. But if I need anything else, I'll come back.
Hey, I understand.
All right, take care, and I'll start jogging back to the guardhouse where Skylar is.
Sure. Where are you guys going as you gather your things at the tavern?
So I would have emerged in my way
Ethel
down.
might be a little disappointed we didn't.
That's true.
But I don't know. We're gonna have to go make a withdrawal if we want to go buy that.
Didn't we do that already?
For
For the 100?
we
Or
did
did
it.
we
for
just
the-
decide that we were gonna? Oh, we got the hut already.
Yeah, we got the hut.
Okay.
We were debating on the counter spell for
Gotcha.
105. We said
Yeah.
we'd come back in the morning, but
Hopefully she still has it.
Hopefully she's. But it's been so much time that.
how
I
about
mean, maybe she'll have something different. Might be something a little more interesting.
we go? We don't get money. We just give her an explanation. Yeah,
I think she's owed that at least.
and then we go figure out what's going on from Skylar.
Okay. So you guys head towards Ethel's. And Edgar, you're running towards the consulate to go and speak with the guard.
Yeah.
And you get there, and one of the guardsmen's up at the door, and he goes, "Citizen, how can I help you?"
Skylar, please, guard captain. Let him know that Edgar Lyle is here to see him.
Sir?
Guard captain Skylar.
He has a moment of recognition on his face, and he says, "Oh, were you a friend of his?"
He's dead.
Oh, for God. Yes, we were. Can I speak to him?
He kind of motions for you to step out into the hall with him.
I'll follow.
He says, I'm sorry, I don't even know your name. I know Skylar had a lot of friends in the city, but he passed on a while ago."
How?
It was a house fire. They were unable to get him out.
There happened to be a library in that house.
Look, my name is Edgar Lyle. We're the one that took care of the bandit problem along the road. Jackknife Gang, if I'm not mistaken. We were in talks with Skylar about me possibly enrolling with the guard. I'm terribly sorry to hear about that. In my short time knowing him, he was a great man.
Yeah, it's
Is it po-
it's been rough on a few of us, but had time to kind of get used to things. His replacement's been pretty good so far, but he'll never fill that seat the same way.
No. Is it possible to meet with him briefly?
Of course, yeah, I can go and talk to him. Here, just wait a second.
No problem.
He disappears around the corner, and when he comes back, he says, "Yeah, you can go in right now." Now, when you somebody's shaking things. When you step in, you see a man there who looks to be a little bit younger than Skylar, though clearly decorated, if his uniform has anything to say about his accomplishments. And he stands up and he goes, "Guard Captain Armin, your name was Edgar, was it? Friend of Skylar's."
That's right, Edgar Lyle. We took care of the Jackknife Gang for you guys.
Look, I'm sorry about everything that's happened. It hit all of us just as surprisingly as anybody else.
I have to say I was out of town, so I haven't even been given any time to grieve, but we have to move on. I guess it's what Skylar would have wanted. Look, Arwen, was it?
Armin.
Armin, sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine.
We were talking with Skylar after dealing with the jackknife situation, specifically if you've heard, we managed to not only take care of the entire group, but bring some in alive to their own execution.
I read about that story. Quite the feat.
Yeah, it seems like just last night I was telling Skylar about it as he was roaring with laughter, but such as things are. Look,
I
Skylar
read
was...
that part of the report, the Great Soul bit.
Which is exactly why we've skipped time, but I didn't want to come out and say it, but if it's in the report, so be it. It makes things a bit clearer. I'm worried that there might be a connection in Skylar's death with something we were discussing that night.
If you can come up with any... Wait a moment. You think this was... You think he was killed?
I do.
Well, I'll definitely need to hear what evidence it is that you have for that. But as far as we know, the fireplace simply got out of hand, and the place went up in smoke.
Armin, may I sit?
Please, yeah.
That night, we were scryed on when we were talking. That night, I passed on a rune to Skylar.
He
Something
grabs
very-
a piece of parchment and, starts taking notes and everything. He says, what evening?
I think it was the 6th. About 41 days ago.
Okay. Do you know... have you been told when Skylar passed away?
No, I still have no idea. The guard outside just broke the news.
It was on the 10th. It was only 4 days after that.
Another thing that, besides the scrying, is we gave him a rune which, quite frankly, no one on this earth is really aware of. It's ancient. Even now I'm worried to give it to you, but Skylar promised to pass it up the chain. He said that despite Oris Ren not having much influence in magic, there were experts in that field and that he would inquire about it for us.
I can go through his records here. Maybe we can see what happened to it.
Maybe. You might have a report. I'll get on with the other. Again, it's all circumstantial, but it could give you a lead of some kind.
He starts to rifle through his papers. Now, at this time, somewhere else in the city, your gang has run up towards Ethel's shop. It's early in the morning, and all the shops are starting to turn open, and Ethel's is no different. When you get up to the door, do you guys just wander in?
Yeah.
Okay. She looks to see you there from behind the counter. Tidge, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you as well.
You can see that she looks kind of like she's feeling awkward, and she says, are you here to buy anything then?
I mean,
Here to apologize.
yeah, for sure.
About,
About just not showing up for almost a month.
well, people get busy and stuff. It's alright.
It's not that. I'll turn around and I'll lift up my hair and I'll show her the Great Soul mark.
Heavens.
Yes. If you, as I imagine you know plenty about it.
Well, that and the bandits, it all makes sense. Goodness.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd need any of my little supplies and stuff. You're a great soul?
I am.
We all are.
And so, the other day, we just lost 40 days.
Well, she kind of smiles a bit. If it helps, I kept this. And she puts the counterspell scroll on the counter.
Wow.
The counter on the counter.
Too meta. Inception noise plays outside. All the buildings start curling on themselves. Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Well,
Huh?
no hard feelings
No?
then, I guess.
Oh, great.
Did
I
the
mean-
thing with the guard turn out?
Edgar, our more charismatic member, he's off to speak with him now.
Okay. She seems to kind of like ease up a bit. Well, if you need anything else, I mean, I have got some stuff in.
We probably need to meet back up with Edgar first, figure out what the hell's going on.
Oh, okay.
I think we're definitely still interested in that. We just have to make a quick withdrawal.
Sure. Well, I'll be here
How-
and I'll keep it. You know, what's another day, right?
Hopefully that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take out a paper and start scribbling to myself, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna put it face down and slide it to her.
Sure.
And it says, "Remind me, how much are those necklaces that prevent scrying?"
Oh. She gives it a look, and after reading it, kind of, you know, puts it face down, and she pauses for a moment and then writes on it and kind of pushes it back towards you. And the initial quote that you guys got was like 300 each. Was
Okay,
it?
I don't remember. That's why I'm
Okay.
asking.
Somebody roll luck.
It looks like it's me.
Oh yeah, you got it charging.
That worked well last time. Edgar has the magic rolls, so I'm not worried.
No way! No way!
What I tell you?
For you today, they're free.
She tells you that those cost. She tells you for you 200.
Sorry, 200.
Is that your sexy voice? Is that what
Two.
that
I
Did it
just
work?
kind of nod.
Not really.
I say, Thank you.
Because I was yawning.
Hopefully, unless this great soul thing kicks in again, we'll be seeing you soon.
Okay. She gives you a nod.
Thanks for understanding.
Motorola Razor. Okay.
Off to see Edgar.
Yeah.
You guys go running off towards the consulate, and as you get there, are you going to the bank first or going to see Edgar first?
Probably straight to see Edgar.
Sure. Now, you guys pile in and get over towards the main door, and the guard is standing there, and you know, gives you guys a nod. Citizens, can I help you?
One of our allies, more scruffy looking guy with armor, Edgar Lyle.
He just came through here. Yes.
We're
Um,
companions of his.
He's having a meeting at the moment with the guard captain.
With Skylar? Well, can we go in and see him?
He has like a sullen look there, and he says, "Sure, it's probably fine. Just wait a moment, please."
Fair
And,
enough.
He goes over towards one of the hallways there and slips into a room. And while you see Armin going through all the papers, Edgar, the door opens, and you see the guard that normally is there near the main hall. And he looks in and he says, "Edgar,
Yeah.
your companions are here outside if you want to talk to them. It seems that they don't have the news yet either. I didn't know if you wanted to tell them or not."
What's your name, soldier?
My name's Ramon.
Ramon, you did good. Armin, excuse me for a second. Do you mind if we have company?
No problem. It's going to take me a moment to get through these papers.
Alright. I'll be right back. And I'll head out.
Sure.
Hey guys. I'll also have a sullen look on my face.
What's the holdup? You having a little private meeting, Skylar?
Skylar's dead.
What?
Yeah.
What is-
House fire, they say. Died a few nights after we met. I'm with Armin right now. We're going over the evidence I have. Armin seems like a genuine guy. I'm trying to see if Skylar happened to get some news back on that rune, and if not, if we can maintain whatever relationship we had with the guard, because it seems like we're going to need it now more than ever. His name's Guard Captain Armin. So head on in, and if you want to take a minute before you come in and absorb the news, that's fine. We didn't know Skylar very well, but he was good to us, so. And I'll just turn around and walk in. Walk back in.
Helps fire my ass.
It's way too coincidental. I wonder when it happened.
Well, I did say table talk a few days after.
Oh, did you?
our
Okay.
discussion,
Yeah.
He must have found something.
Do you guys step into the room there?
Yeah, sort of
Yeah.
in a daze. I'll step in.
As you guys step in, you see a different person from across the desk. Everything else here is more or less the same, with a mild change to some of the knickknacks. The guy stands up and he says, "Guard Captain Armin, I'm sorry for you all to hear about this tragedy the way that you have. It's
Just
never
gonna
easy.
nod.
Your friend Edgar here seems to think there's some foul play. Right now, it's been ruled as simply an accident, but given a couple things, there might be something else going on."
We do have more evidence to go over, Armin, but my companions here, this is Tidge, Kalik, Annabelle, and Arillo. I'm sure they can fill in some things that I might have forgotten, but once we get past that rune and see if there was a result from his findings, there is some more things that I could give you in terms of evidence, maybe get you on a decent track.
Well, I have a few things here I managed to scrounge up. It looks like your report... Well, it didn't exactly go through, but there's a note here at the bottom, which might be worth looking at. And he kind of turns the paper over to you.
I'll read it.
As you read the thing, you see that at the bottom, it looks like a noble family in the Imperium is thinking about hiring you on personally, even though the government has decided not to. And so there's a house name there. If you guys ever wanted to, you could go and speak with the Sorrel family. I'll type that in here.
First time I got the spelling right, my man. Alright, so Selfless Skylar got us a job. Alright, so no news about the rune. Is the rune even in the paperwork?
It is. Well, I assume this is what it is. Around that time, you said you met with him on the 6th, right?
I'll look to Kalik. I think that's what it was.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Well, on the 7th here, it seems that he sent something off, and he hasn't sent off anything else. And it looks like he had shipped the note on a courier to Solsland.
Solsland?
There's an address here. It looks like it's headed for a court wizard there.
Would I know of the wizards in Solsland, given
Yes, you would know that the wizards control all of Solsland, and it's the magic capital of the world, so it makes sense. It'd be like shipping something off to, like, Harvard kind of thing to get it analyzed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would I know of any people there in particular, or just know of the court of wizards?
You could roll straight luck to see if you recognize the name of who this is going to.
Yeah, I'm down.
I mean, knowing you, it's probably going to be a 20 anyway, so...
I'm gonna borrow the slut die from you.
Alright.
Jesus Christ, it almost was. Do you see
Came
that?
close.
You're not familiar. Sorry, there's no name, but there's an address, and the address that you see is not familiar to you. It looks like it's pretty close to the Spire, which is like the main building in town. So it's probably somebody wealthy, or at least important, but you're not actually familiar with the address. Well, this was sent out then. The courier was a fast one. I wouldn't be surprised if the note's already gotten there. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we'd be hearing back about it by now.
Well, that's one of my concerns, not to be too alarmist, but the only thing besides Skylar, or besides that rune linking Skylar to us, is the scry and that note. Now, the scry itself could have been enough to spur someone on and see that we were gaining a valuable ally, and Dren decided to end it there and then. But that rune... Look, let me paint you a fuller picture, okay? We have the rune, we have the timing, we have the scry. Other things to include are the fact that at every scene that we've been to for this person that's coming after us, flames and fire are a common theme. Another thing to note, I don't even know what other thing I was going to mention, sorry.
If you're being pursued by some sort of crazed arsonist, then that's definitely something to put in the notes here. We might have to open an investigation.
Well, Armin, this isn't a normal arsonist. He has scrying capability, and he's targeting specific ancient structures of worship. A librarian. Most people aren't even aware of him. He barely has a following to begin with. My companion here has a relationship with him, which I don't think I need to get into, but at every single place of worship, arson has taken place before we get there. We've been scryed, and the only description we have of this man is bald, with dark skin, almost black as ash, and he was able to not only scry on us, but assault my friend Kalik here through an orb and nearly kill him. So this isn't just your run-of-the-mill criminal.
It's a powerful magister. I'm not sure who it is. Okay. I'm going to keep this under wraps. What we've talked about stays to this room. If I leak this and an investigation begins, I think you might be right. Chances are more guards will die investigating this than anything will get solved.
I'm worried to even leave you an image of the same thing happens to you.
Don't. If you think that's what end will come of it, keep it to yourself. I'm not one for magic anyway, so unless it's a clue of some other nature, I'm not going to be able to help.
Now, your relationship with the mages in Soulsland, if we just were to arrive, would we need a note on your behalf to get us an audience? Do you have that kind of rapport with them?
The mages are difficult about who they allow in and out. If they know you, it's not really a problem, but if you're an outsider, there could be trouble. Do any of you have connections in Soulsland?
I'm afraid to say I do, but I'd rather not use them. What I'd propose, if you're open to it, is I pursue, or I continue with what Skylar and I discussed, as I become an honorary member of the Guard, commissioned by you to pursue bounties on behalf of Oris Ren and the Empire. This might allow me into the Wizard's Tower on government business, allow access to some rudimentary resources like ammunition and basic equipment. And what we discussed with Skylar is in return, we could maybe get rid of some bounties and only take a partial amount of the reward rather than paying out to some citizen or some random band of adventure. I'm not sure if
I have an idea.
But
I won't be able to make you an honorary member of the Guard. That has already, according to these records, been turned down, unfortunately. But what we could do is I can write you a letter that should get you inside. If you're on an investigation, well, Soulsland and Aurelium are on standoffish terms, but we communicate still. It should be enough to get you past the gates. The other option is, if you're willing to fund it for 50 gold, we could use a sending spell and potentially speak with them right now, and that info might be what you need.
I'll look to the group. I think, guys, what do you think? I think that's a fair price.
I'll slap 50 gold on the table immediately.
Damn, gangster! That Mayweather money.
Whoops. I would if I had that. I'd spend it somehow.
How much did you slap down?
44 apparently.
No. Let's just split it between the 5 of us. It's 10 gold each.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You guys each lose 10 gold there, and he says, okay, I'll be right back. I'll see what information we can gather. And he disappears past the door there for a moment, and you guys are left in the room for a bit. Do you guys talk about anything?
Edgar, it's now more appropriate to say those necklaces at the shop prevent the wearer against crying.
Okay.
She brought them down to about 200 piece. I know it's pretty expensive, but if we're gonna have some prying eyes on us, it would prevent, at least 2 of us from being seen. I think buying at least one of them, at least for Tidge, would be beneficial. 'Cause it seems like Tidge might be a focus. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Well-
The door opens, and Armin comes back. He says, okay. Well, I have some news. We inquired about the location, and whether or not a note has come through on a courier, and they say the courier never arrived.
Well, I think we just went from circumstantial to an investigation that's worth pursuing.
Look,
Because if that,
Can I
Yeah.
can I cast detect good and evil?
sure. You detect no good or evil around.
Okay, just making sure.
Could I
Always good to
insight check that?
Sure.
I think that's just... yeah, that's a straight 15.
You're fairly certain that Armin's telling you the truth.
Okay.
Now he continues and he says, there is one lead. We always require that anytime the guard does anything, that there's a paper trail for it, so we can cover receipts and all. There will be a record of which courier company sent off the message. Now, like I said, I don't think it's a good idea for the guard to do any of this. What you've described sounds like something that we're not going to handle not particularly well without calling on some of our best, and things down towards the south with the Yuan Ti have only gotten worse, so we're a little bit stretched. At least that's what my superiors tell me. So I'm going to give you this receipt, or at least let you copy from it, and you're not going to tell anybody that you have it, and you make what you will of this investigation. And if you think that you can safely come back and tell me what's going on, or if there's any help to be had, let me know. But my hands are largely tied. All I can really give you is information if I ever get any.
tell me, do you have a circle of teleportation between here and Soulsland?
We do. It's one of the few places that you can teleport to from here.
Would you do us a favor and send my party there so we can investigate your late guard captain's death? One-way ticket.
I could probably send you there.
That's all we ask. We'll keep this under wraps. We'll take on sole responsibility. We'll keep it discreet. And once we have any concrete findings that are hopefully tangible enough for the guard to get interested, and maybe you can escalate the situation without harm to yourself or the guard, then we'll come back on our own terms.
This is out of my own pocket, and you didn't receive it from me. and he hands you a piece of paper that says that you are permitted to travel through the portal to Soulsland, and it's basically like a card from the local guard forces that pays for the trip.
I'll look at him. Armin. Look, I just didn't know Skylar for very long, but you've already proven to be an honorable man. And I'll go to shake his hand, and I want to see how he reacts to the word honorable. Check that.
He shakes your hand as well, and you can go ahead and roll insight.
Nice. My insight is +4, so that's a 21.
Okay. You can see that Armin acts to the honorable bit in a respectable manner. You get the sense that he feels really bad that things have gotten so crazy with your recently dead friend, and that he's kind of trying to do the best that he can. And you get the sense that he's just trying to help you in whatever way he possibly can without getting his job lost at the same time.
Okay.
So after that, he gives your hand a shake, and he turns to the rest and he says, "I'm sorry I couldn't find more, but hopefully this helps. And again, you didn't receive that paper from me."
Of course. Where do we cash this in, so to speak?
Well, the portal's in the consulate, so you're already in the right building. You should be able to read the directions on it. It'll lead you down the right hall.
Alright. Armin, unless you feel like there's anything else, I want to thank you for your time. I think the less time we spend together, the better it is for you.
Yeah, you might want to move. It sounds like whatever's going on here, the forces working against you are moving quick. Looks like Skylar only had 4 days before this happened.
Seems like anyone who...
If that's what happened, and every bit of your story seems to lead up into that, so...
Makes me wonder about my friend Jem, and if he succumbed to the same fate. If not, I have to wonder why that is.
Can you roll luck, please?
Sure. $18.
Using your previous insight roll of 21, you can tell that when you say the word gem, he reacts. And he goes like, but he doesn't say anything about it.
Armin, I don't want to stay here any longer than I have to. I'm going to use my channel divinity to persuade here.
Okay.
If there's anything you know about Jem, you tell me. We're already unsure about him, and our lives are at stake. With Skylar's life as well.
Make a persuasion roll.
Use Gizmo. Jesus Christ, my rolls are fuego. That's plus 10, so 28.
Oh, okay. He turns to you and he says, "Oh, no, sorry, nothing like that. No, he gambles with me and some of my friends in our off time."
Oh, and you've seen him recently?
Yeah, we played a few days ago. Says he's in town for a while.
Can you do me a favor and not tell him I'm headed to Soulsland? If he's alive and Skylar isn't, and both of them have had access to the rune or knowledge of it.
Wait, what? Gem? Seriously?
Yeah, and he's the one who gave us the lead to Seba.
Necro halls.
Yeah, in the Necro Hall specifically.
I've known Jem for a few years since my time in the guard. There's no way that could be. No, he's a stand-up guy.
Is this the same Jem we're talking about? And I give him a description of Jem.
Yeah, he nods. He says, "Yep, that's him."
Oh, trust me, Jem has many faces, and he follows me wherever I go. For, let's just say, my family has an invested interest in me, and let's just say, don't place too much faith in him. He's a good guy, and he has my best interests at heart, I believe. But if we're to take the facts, simply the facts, try to strip away Jem's personality and what you know of him, and simply go, the last two people I've given the rune to One of them has died. One of them has had information. So, I don't know what that means.
You see that he looks like he believes you, and you've been persuasive enough that he doesn't think that you're telling him any sort of lie, but at the same time, he's just kind of in disbelief, and it looks like he's just, like, doesn't really know what to do with himself. He says, well, I'll take that into consideration.
Don't change your habits, and by all means, when it comes to him, Skylar might have been targeted because of the scry, not the rune, but the fact that someone went to great lengths to destroy that paper tells me that the rune comes into play. So try to avoid any information, any leak of information to Jem whatsoever, and please be careful around him.
Okay, Edgar, I'll take your advice. Maybe I'll sit out on a couple of gambling nights.
Like I said, try not to change your habits too much. The guy is shrewd. He'll spot that from a mile away. But anyways, you'll know best. Thank you for your time, Armin, and again, thank you for this, and I'll waive the paper.
He gives you a hand to shake, and you guys step on out into the hall. And after getting this huge revelation, find yourselves wandering down towards, well, maybe an exit, maybe the portal, who knows. Where are you guys going? What are you talking about?
So, would I know... Sorry, just quick question. Would I know Table Talk if bank access between Orisren and Soulsland is the thing?
I would say that you don't know that off the top of your head.
Okay, cool. Sorry, go ahead, Connor.
Before we head to Soulsland, do we want to pick up that necklace? Put it on Tidge before we go?
I think we need to clear out the bank and pick up all 5.
I think she only had 2.
Shit.
She didn't carry that many.
Yep.
But whatever we do, we need to do it quick. Like,
I've
Look.
never been through a portal before. I'm pretty excited.
Look, let's all go to the bank. Let's figure out if we have fund access between Soulsland and Orisren. If we don't, we're gonna clear the bank out anyways. Let's get both necklaces, and let's get that counterspell if you haven't purchased it already.
Okay.
We gotta
That's our
move.
plan.
So you guys go to the bank, and you're going to go and find out about this Soulsland bit, and you're informed by the teller that there's a single bank there whose name is given to you, which will honor your investments here. And since your account is large enough, they will allow you to take out coin from there.
Okay.
So that seems to be secured. Now, if you guys want to take any out to go and visit Ethel, that's up to you. You just let me know how much you want to withdraw.
What are you thinking, Kalik Tidge? 1? 1 will suffice. 2?
How about...
I figure we have 1 or 5. I don't really see the benefit of having 2. I think your gut instinct was right. Tidge is the target, right?
Yeah, I think we should withdraw it all, because making withdrawals here and there is going to leave a paper trail of where we've been. Not sure.
I cock my eyebrows in disbelief. I'm like, yeah, well, and then I get serious again. Keep in mind that paper trail would also lead to the fact that we withdrew it all and that we're moving.
Yeah, but they don't know where.
I think
Well,
they can piece it together.
Yeah, I think what Kalik is saying, if whoever's after us has the resources to get banking information in Soulsland and Orisren, and they're gonna have the information about the circle, we have to assume that. So I guess the question is, do we withdraw it all and alert them here? Or do we not withdraw it and hope that they're not alarmed? You know, they might have again, if we're thinking very paranoid, if they have a watch on our account, maybe leaving it as is, besides a few purchases here and there, makes them think that we haven't moved at all. Might buy us a few days.
I'd feel more comfortable taking it all and buying what we need from
And then-
Ethel.
And then
I
deposit
wouldn't
it.
deposit it there. I would keep it with us. That way we're...
That's a tremendous amount of money to carry, Kalik. You're talking about pounds and pounds of gold. And we're gonna be on the move. We're gonna be fighting things. We can't be carrying that much. We're talking about hundreds of gold. Needs to be somewhere.
Well, these necklaces are pretty common. We could pick them up whenever we can.
There's bound to be, if Solzlin is the haven for, or like the capital of mages, then there's bound to be, or there's going to be tons of Arcanist shops there. So.
We also don't know what we're gonna walk into in Solston, guys. I'm telling you right now, this is the last place on Earth I wanted to be. You found me in Elos for a reason. So, that being said, besides everything we're wrapped up in, family matters of the Lyles might come into play. And I don't know in what terms it's going to be. Now, it's not going to be necessarily a threat, per se. They just want me back and out of the picture when it comes to adventuring. They want me tending to family matters. But, look, we don't know what the wizards are going to be like on the other side. We don't even know if they're in on it, right? If they did receive the rune and they dispatched the courier and they're in on it and we arrive on their doorstep with a boatload of gold, I'm not comfortable having our resources on our person like that. In a bank, they're secure.
Well, are you comfortable getting both necklaces?
I don't mind spending the money.
Well, that's 400 right off the top, and then counter spells another 105.
That still leaves some in the bank. Not a lot, about 45 gold, but
Rags to riches.
And then I have, 50 gold on me right now. You guys have quite a bit as well, right? If I'm not
If
we've
we've
got
only
about 30.
If we've only got 45 left in the bank, we might as well just withdraw it, because we may need to pay taxes. Not taxes, tolls or whatever the hell they have in Solzlin.
Well, if you think we need both necklaces, again, I think it should be 1 or 5, but you guys are the mage, or rather the magic users, so...
I don't think we're going to find 5 in a single shop. We
Not
might,
around here.
but I think we should pick them up whenever we find them.
Okay.
What happens when we get to the next shop and they have 4? Or 3?
We're
like
getting
missing
a really
just
good
1.
deal here.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's
We're not
pick...
going to be able to find these for any
I
cheaper.
guess we're decided on cleaning out the bank, picking up all 3 items at Ethel's, and taking the portal immediately. We have to move quickly.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
Okay.
Well, do you guys want to head over to Ethel's right away? I'll start preparing the circle. I don't know if there is preparation, but I can't emphasize enough.
From the way that the paper is, it seems that they will have the circle ready.
Okay. Okay, cool. So then I'll go together to Ethel's then.
Okay. You guys liquidate the bank, pulling out all assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's putting the spare cash on them?
I can't carry that much.
Yeah, there's no way unless we got it in gems.
Oh no, I mean like after getting the items
Oh,
from Ethel.
afterwards?
We're going to split it evenly.
Sure. So split the odds evenly, and Ethel will sell you the counter spell and the 2 the 2 necklaces.
What was it? 45 you said? So 9 each?
Yeah.
Is that what it was, Tidge?
Yeah, because it was 400 and then
Okay,
another
so
105, right?
So I'm at
Yep.
67.
So we only get 9 gold.
Yeah, everyone adds 9 gold, and 2 of
Oh,
you get
shit.
necklaces. So the 2 of you can add necklaces of anti-scrying to your inventory. Who's going to wear them?
Tidge.
I guess Tidge is gonna be OG with 2 necklaces.
Okay. For now, Tidge, put 2 in your inventory. And who's going to hold the counter spell?
Who's gonna have the second necklace though? We should have someone wear it immediately.
I think Kalik should have it.
Cool.
I
'Cause
saw
he's been
he saw
touched.
me, I saw him.
Yeah, he's been touched. So Kalik will wear the second one,
Okay.
and for this counter spell, Tidge or Kalik?
Either one of us, really.
I have space, I can hold on to it.
Alright,
Okay.
why don't you take it?
So with that, the 2 of you get the necklaces, you split up your bit of gold, and liquidate everything from the bank account here in Oris Ren. You make your way past Ethel's shop after a nice goodbye from her and go running off towards the portal. And after some time wandering through different hallways, you eventually get to a door that seems to be fairly well guarded, and presenting the paper happens to be enough to get you inside, though the people here seem to be on high alert, even despite your paper. When you get in, there's a sort of shimmering portal seemingly on the ground that has strange particles floating off from it. And as you guys step up and prepare to go through, we will end the session there.
No.
Just another half hour.
+2.
Times
Well
6.
done, guys. It's a good session. I think that
We haven't died yet.
nobody died. Oh, not nobody died. You haven't died yet.
Sovereign Stone.
That's true.
Yeah, we
First
got a
group.
lot of shit done. Those last 2 sessions, man, we've been hustling.
Yeah, if you look at the
Oh, yeah.
trajectory of your guys' group, the last little bit has just been like, what the fuck is going on? So, I think you guys did really good. Congrats to you all. To the audience, it's always good to have some people watching. And to our patrons who couldn't do it without you, I'm going to kill stream here and, cut to the end screen, I suppose. And we will see you later. Tomorrow's session is not happening. We are missing somebody, and they are in the thick of some main quest type stuff, so they're electing to wait till he's back, so don't tune in for Thursday. But we will see you Monday next week. Adios.
Bye.
Adios, motherfucker.
Whew.
Hot damn.
Mm.
A little bit of everything in that session. Wow.
That was crazy.
I have some notes to write.
All because of that. I feel like that luck roll in the hotel, like, created a time jump, which created a death, which created like this.
Oh man, so much.
There's definitely a couple of... Your quest has a lot of moving parts, and what I've done... Actually, I should kill stream before I do this anyway. Stream, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.